what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the pre-show before the pre-show for WWE Elimination Chamber 2023. Sonny G here, as always, with Finn Steele.
Hello.
And Steve.
Good evening.
And Kay.
Hello.
And yeah, we're going to be talking about the Elimination Chamber 2023. It starts in just a couple of hours. It's going to be shorter, thankfully, than the Royal Rumble, which was on until stupid o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like daylight.
Too long.
Yeah, like the birds chirping type early.
Yeah.
Hey Chris, what's happening?
This is Yo.
Yo. Oh man. I'm buzzed.
Yeah.
What, for the penis cup?
Yeah. So, is that what they do?
It's a spaceship.
It's a rocket.
Then.
Yeah.
It's a spaceship, it's not a penis.
Yeah.
It's good that you've got it the right way up as well, so it's literally sort of.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep it.
It's just like Venus.
Oh.
Oh God.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah. Oh man. Squinny's just put something in Discord, so I'm not sure if he's here yet. I think he might be getting a coffee. Coffee's going to be needed tonight. We've all got coffee. Yeah, we've all got a coffee because, yeah, pay-per-views. Although I'm buzzing that pay-per-views are a Saturday night now.
Me too.
Oh, much better.
I think it's anytime Brown in Discord.
Yeah.
Brown.
There should be all the time Saturday.
Yeah.
And I hope that is the case forever now.
Yeah. Oh, so you've got a game to practice.
Yeah. Chris has got an hour-long history of Sam in the Bloodline video onto WWE, uploaded it an hour ago. And Squinny says, "Oh, I'm here, but it's tea and biscuits, baby."
Oh, okay. Tea, right? Okay.
Love tea and biscuits. What type of biscuits though? Like, you go have a bourbon or a rich tea.
Malted milk, I mean.
Malted milk.
If that's the last packet in the cupboard, yeah. But like my first choice, bourbon or
yeah, rich teas are good.
Rich tea or a bourbon.
Yeah, they are one dips, to be fair. I like digestives though as well, but they like
chocolate digestives though, kind of normal.
No, I like normal digestives, like the ones that have got they've got the oats in. Yeah, I like the ones like where it's a bit oaty. The
story behind that, I think I've told you, Steve. So my brother went through this thing. I think he still does. I don't know. It's all about protein, and he's got to have everything that's got protein in it, and he's got to do everything right, but he did everything wrong. And when he lived with us, he would have us go to it when we do our shopping. Can you get me some digestives in that, Kay? Yeah, because like they're full of oats. You know what I mean? Like, you are dumb as shit. They are not.
Wow. Then you follow it up with, can you get me some Malwams as well?
Like, oh, and don't forget, I like sweet chili sauce and chips. Yeah, it's well healthy. That is, Mike. Well done. Squinny says chocolate digestive tea.
Yeah, I'm a Squinny on that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You went straight from malted milk.
Malted milk. Yeah, milk was probably number one. I don't know why.
Okay, well that's fair enough.
Chris says Oreos, not with tea though.
No, I can have Oreos with tea.
No.
I had Oreos with tea actually earlier on in the week.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, they're nice.
Because the creams are a good biscuit.
They taste better than the Dunkin' coffee though.
Yeah. They're great.
Much better.
I'm not really sure how I feel about Dunkin' in coffee.
Yeah.
It's just like Dunkin' in tea, but better.
No, it's not. It isn't. I think tea is made for Dunkin'. Coffee is made for tea shit. I like tea. Just drink out your penis cup. Stop trying to cover it up and be embarrassed that you drink out of a penis.
I prefer penis coffee.
Slurp
on that penis.
Fresh from the mountains.
That's our version of his and hers cups there, haven't they?
Slurping the penis. I got a Jurassic World mug.
I've just got a cat mug, but no one can see mine.
Give these two the penis mugs.
Even worse for that.
I mean, I reckon you have. There's smudges on that side.
Yeah.
Frank Roberts too says, "Now Dunkin' in coffee is crazy."
You said that?
No, Frank Roberts.
Hey, what's happening, dude?
Hey, Frank.
And then Chris says, "Fuck's sake, Sammy has been so good. The storyline started in April last year." What?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Honestly, I mean, WWE don't usually do this as good as they.
Or for as long. They usually sack it off.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember thinking when Sammy first started doing this stuff, I thought it was stupid, to be honest. I didn't think it'd go anywhere or be any good.
So over though.
But this is the best storyline that WWE have had probably in 20 years.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, I was spending like last month max.
Yeah.
Have like review Roman and Sammy and it'll be over.
Maybe a payoff though. There's got to be a payoff.
Well, I mean, we'll get into it and then a little bit later. But like you, I mean, I thought this had just sort of set up Sammy versus Roman for just a shot at the universe, a random shot for the championship, and then that'd be it. We'd never see it again.
Yeah.
But for it to be as going on as long as it has and be as good as it has, I mean, that at the Royal Rumble was just absolutely unbelievable.
Chris says pay off his tag titles. We said that earlier.
Yeah.
And then he also says this is up there with the 2-year Hangman Omega book story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Fracka says Triple H is really showing that he can really handle creative well, unlike McMahon in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we you could talk about McMahon, you know, ad nauseum. We have really, but you know, with Vince, you know, his attention span is very, you know, short. So he'd be very sort of like. That's why pay-per-views typically over the last, as long as I can personally remember, is you'd have 2 pay-per-views of the same thing, then moves on to the next.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 pay-per-views of that, then there's something else. You know, that's why the you know, the games were always sort of like, you know, a month at a time, because that's just how the shows were booked. The shows were booked basically a month at a time, a month of feud, or 2 months of feud, depending on how good it was. I mean, for the world titles, you know, you maybe get 2 months of feud, mid-card and tag team, etc. I mean, you know, there was nothing long-term there.
Chris says, wasn't McMahon in control for most of this? He could half of it.
Well, if you think about it, Triple H, if it was been going on since April last year, Triple H took over at SummerSlam, or just before SummerSlam. So actually, not most of it at all. Actually, it's only April last year. So just after WrestleMania.
SummerSlam's what, August?
It was earlier, wasn't it? Was it earlier? July?
It might have been the very end of July, but usually it's the start of
It was earlier this year, wasn't it?
It might have been like the 31st of July or something like
mention
that. Let me have a look.
Felt different, yeah. Something good about it.
Oh, you're checking.
What, SummerSlam?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But
Yeah.
It is usually August, though. You are right.
SummerSlam
So it's probably
22.
Vince was probably overlooking it for about 4 months.
Mm.
And it's been trip.
See who else I think's lasted a lot longer than
30th of July it was.
Judgment Day. I think they've lasted a long time for a faction.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a few factions.
But again, I mean, that was very close to going to shit almost straight away.
Oh, yeah.
But the change up from having Finn Balor take over from Edge works perfectly. But yeah, so 30th of July was SummerSlam, but Triple H took over a couple of weeks before that, because obviously SummerSlam is when Dakota Kai came back with Bayley.
Yeah, because very quickly people started to come back before Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
Every week on Raw was a surprise because people were coming back.
Yeah.
Chris says, well done, Paul.
Yeah, well done, Paul, because this easily could have gone to shit very quickly, and we'd see nothing of it.
Could you imagine how, like, when people were nearly kicking off because there was talk that he could be coming back, demanding to come back into creative? Could you imagine how shit that would have gone quite quickly?
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't happen.
I'm glad it didn't. I think the talent probably are as well, because I know some of them weren't happy, especially those that have come back.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Elimination Chamber tonight. Like the actual, I was saying to you guys before, that's my favourite gimmick match that WWE do. It's the one that sort of feels truly unique in terms of like the way that it works and the way that it just feels totally unique. It's still essentially an elimination 6-person match, but it's the actual Elimination Chamber itself. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, is it? Like having these different matches.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a steel cage match. I haven't tell basically a steel cage match with.
Basically, yeah. I mean, look at the steel cage in did steel cage in AEW have a roof? Did it? Which was really tall, wasn't it? It was like fucking No Mercy or something.
Dangerously tall, yeah.
It was really tall, because I can much remember Cody come flying off the top like a ragdoll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, their version of War Games has like traditionally used to have the roof. It's got the roof.
No.
Blood and Guts, that has the roof in AEW. Yeah.
So does.
Whereas War Games in WWE doesn't have a roof.
Yeah.
Frank says this is one of the few pay-per-views I can remember where I actually care about the card.
Yeah, and also 5 matches is the correct amount of matches for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for a pay-per-view like this. Like the big ones, like Royal Rumble, like WrestleMania, obviously Mania's over 2 nights or whatever, but like these kind of pay-per-views, these like in-between big pay-per-views, like 5 matches is all you need. You don't need to overpopulate the card.
Frank also says, I'm excited to see some spots. We're on about that with Montez Ford earlier.
Yeah.
He's going to do some stupid stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Montez Ford. I think that's the reason he's in the Elimination Chamber.
Probably, yeah.
Just to go come flying off it.
Yeah.
Hit that frog splash that he does. The thing is, if he jumps that high in the chamber, he hit the roof.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Pull up on it.
Yeah. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. I thought the Royal Rumble was good. There was a couple of matches at the Royal Rumble that I don't think were very good.
Yeah.
The women's match I think was flat, but I think that's because it followed a match that nobody understood.
Yeah.
Myself included.
$11 disco match.
Yeah, that. Yeah. And it was just, it could have been cool, but it wasn't.
Yeah, they kind of messed it up a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Says, I'd like to see one thing change though. I know Triple H addressed it already, but I'd like Elimination Chamber. It says Eliminator Chamber, but I'm going to assume it means Elimination Chamber to move out of here and be saved like Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Frank says, I think Seth will be big, have a big one tonight.
Yeah.
And Chris says again, Montez better be careful or he'll land in someone's throat like Van Damme did.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Crushed Triple H. Didn't he?
Yeah. Was that at the Elimination Chamber? Was that the Survivor Series one?
I might be actually, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first one. Because the first one was at Survivor Series 2009. That's where Shawn Michaels won the World Heavyweight title.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Awesome build, and they used it was a song by Saliva. Remember Saliva?
Yeah.
And they used a Saliva song for that pay-per-view, and the build for it is absolutely awesome.
Chris says that was the first one,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's the one that's in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the build for that's a great pay-per-view, but that Elimination Chamber is really cool.
Awesome.
And it's crazy to see the Elimination Chamber's been around that long now.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think get rid of gimmick pay-per-views. You get rid of now.
Chris has the brown HBK pants, always a song.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, always. That's the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Shawn Michaels had that weird haircut as well, like that short hair that he had. Yeah, it was weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, brown HBK tights all the time. That's the year he came back. Because him and Triple H had that match at SummerSlam, the unsanctioned match.
Yeah.
The thing that I always remember from that match is Triple H doing that insane backbreaker. It was like a pendulum backbreaker, but Shawn Michaels sold it like Shawn Michaels always does, and it was just insane. Like Chris will know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Short haired Dutch boy.
Yeah.
That's Chris, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, get rid of gimmick pay-per-view. So,
Fastlane fun.
I mean, like, ones that incorporate a gimmick match.
Oh, I get you.
So, like, Elimination Chamber. Just save the Elimination Chamber. TLC.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell.
Money in the Bank.
I keep that one. That's kind of the same.
Thing is, I always liked Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, though. I always felt like it was a WrestleMania match.
True.
And it was, I guess, until...
It was until it got turned.
I mean, have it over here first and then put it in.
Yeah.
Let's have it over here first.
But at the same time, I guess that's one... No, they're not. That is the one pay-per-view I guess you probably could get away with because it has a purpose, whereas TLC doesn't really because it's never really for anything. And you know that there's going to be a TLC match.
Tables, ladders, chairs.
Oh, that was... God. They did that one year.
Chris says, yep, Sonny, remember the backbreakers during Sean's return match at SummerSlam? Insane.
Yeah. Because you always thought, like, because that was why Shawn Michaels retired, because of his back. Then obviously they were selling the shit out of them, the moves on the back, so the backbreaker. Yeah. And that's why, it was just awesome. It was just so good. That Triple H and Shawn Michaels feud was great, by the way, as well.
Nice.
Really, really good stuff.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No, not common-wise, not yet.
I hate the TLC pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's
good. Remember the chairs
Remember
match?
that year where they had the sorry, I interrupted you then. The year where they had Natalia come back and have that match with she was Ruby Riott then, and they made the awful not gimmick, but Natalia had come back and it was just after her dad died. Do you remember that match? And I thought that was a pretty cool match.
I can't remember what the match. Well, what was the gimmick for the match?
No, she come down on her dad's jacket, obviously, but then like Ruby Riott would get her dad's accessories and like snap them in front of her.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. That's such a Vince thing, by the way.
Yeah, well, that was terrible. Yeah. I think that's the one.
Hey, you think that's bad?
The only one I remember of TLC.
Yeah,
I know you've watched some shit.
You think that's bad, right? They did
I just thought it was cheap.
When they did a storyline where Big Show's dad died, right, and they were having the funeral, and the big boss man crashed the funeral, and basically he like dragged the coffin away, because you know, like in America they have these like them. So boss man was dragging the coffin along,
He's gone.
and big.
Because I couldn't see it in my
Boss
head.
man was like, Big Show, your dad, he's dead, and like Big Show was like trying to climb on the coffin.
On the coffin.
Yeah, well,
Like
being
they
dragged
riding
by the boss man.
his dad's coffin.
Chris says his dad actually died though.
Yeah.
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 And then he put above it, sorry, Survivor Series 2002 promo videos in the Discord.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good one as well. It is a good one. 2002, so it was that long ago. I said 2009 actually. Obviously, I was really wrong.
I thought it was long. Yeah, I thought it was long.
Yeah.
I said that,
God, 21 years the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it's been it's like I say, it's a mainstay now, isn't it?
What's the pay-per-view that you said that was really cool and they had like the swinging hooks and stuff?
Backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'll bring that back?
No.
Mm.
I don't think.
NXT maybe.
The sets, isn't it? They don't do
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, maybe. Yeah, the sets. That's what was so cool about pay-per-views before. Is it was obviously now it's just a big screen with like a graphic.
Even
on it or
mainly as
whatever.
a big screen. Like remember the last one I remember of it being
There's a boat,
a
didn't it?
proper like a proper set was New Orleans WrestleMania. And they had the mask.
Yeah, that was good. That was. I like the boat one was good though.
Isn't that boat there all
Tampa.
the time though?
Yeah, I think it is.
Because the Bucks pay there.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think they just added their own bits to it because they used some of the set, didn't they,
I
from
could be
2020.
wrong.
It's not as big though, is it? That.
I think it's part of the stadium. I think it is part of it.
So I know the Buccaneers play there, don't they?
Chris is probably at the time.
Yeah,
Probably.
Chris is an NFL guy, isn't he? So
Yeah, Chris says the backlash stage, the hooks.
Yeah,
awesome.
amazing.
So good.
You talk about that a lot, to be fair, because it's one that I'm.
But it's even stuff like was it King of the Ring where they had where Kurt
Oh, with the glass.
Oh,
yeah.
when he-
Because you had the throne, didn't you, for the King of the Ring?
He threw him in. Yeah, it didn't break first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times, wasn't it?
Yeah, and on his head.
First time just landed on his head.
Me says
yeah.
Shane O'Mac falling, and then Chris says Halloween Havoc, Royal Rumble 2000, and the one where Kane's entrance set a stage on fire on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I love the pay-per-view stages. Like, I mean, like when you play like Here Comes the Pain, and you see like the stages there, you got like Bad Blood, and it's just got like a blood drop, and it's got the like the Titantron and stuff like that. It was just unique. Like all of the pay-per-views felt different. Like everything, like Judgment Day, the pay-per-view Judgment Day had like a bit of a tattered thing, didn't it? It had like a big cross.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool. It was just really every pay-per-view felt different.
We get 3D stuff on the screen now instead.
Yeah.
I think that's been part of the problem of recent years is because they don't do anything like that anymore, and it's a cost-cutting measure basically.
Okay.
All the pay-per-views just feel the same.
Yeah.
How many pay-per-views have we watched over the last few years and gone, that could have been an episode of Raw? Because they just feel the same.
But also, I think
All the time.
that's the reason I think for me especially that I can remember pay-per-views because they did feel unique.
Yeah.
Whereas now, there's a period now. I mean, obviously I've been watching wrestling for a long time now, but there's a period over. I mean, it's probably just after Ruthless Aggression, maybe even during that, where I can't remember specific pay-per-views.
No.
There's a lot of them where they sort of blend in.
That time when they were doing Raw and SmackDown specific ones. I mean,
God almighty, yeah.
2 a month.
2 a month, weren't it?
Yeah, it was way too much.
It was just.
And they'd make a big deal of the big 4 ones, and whether both brands would be on the same pay-per-view.
I mean, I think there's too many pay-per-views anyway. That's the one thing I do actually think AEW get very right, because there's pay-per-views sort of only. Has there been one this year? There has been one AEW
I
one
think
this year.
there's 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, because the next one's in March.
It's
so
always
there's
close
like 4 or
to
5 a
Mania,
year, but then they have
one
the
of
special episodes of Dynamite, which do feel like pay-per-views in themselves. So they have like Fight for the Fallen and Beach Break, I want to say.
Oh yeah.
And there's another one. There's Fight Fest and Fight for the Fallen are right next to each other, aren't they? So it's 1 week is you have 2 weeks of Fighter Fest, then you have 2 weeks of Fight for the Fallen, I think.
Chris said the last one was last year in AEW, and then he said at one stage there was like 16, 18 pay-per-views a month.
Yeah,
the brand split made everything forgettable, and AEW could do with a fifth, but to be honest, having less is awesome.
Yeah, but I think with AEW, yeah, they're probably, it's the way that they do it, because this one's in March, and then I think the next one probably is Double or Nothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's around like June,
May?
July time.
May, I think it is.
That close. March to
May,
May.
yeah, I think it's May, because that's when AEW started, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? I think you're right, because I know they always try and have one near Mania, but obviously they're not dumb enough to
No,
have it.
of course not. No wrestling company is.
No,
it's
pretty easy.
You run that weekend because it's a big, yeah, there's a big hype around WrestleMania. That's why indie companies run around WrestleMania weekend.
No one runs on WrestleMania though.
No one runs on WrestleMania.
Yeah, May.
May, right, yeah. And then there's 2 more, but I can't for the life remember what they're fucking called. But they do have the special episodes of Dynamite, but they do feel like pay-per-views because they build them up to be like pay-per-views, so it's good.
How many takeovers did NXT have a year? They had 4 or 5.
Yeah,
4 or 5, yeah.
We haven't had Tabletop Weekend at the big pay-per-views, didn't they?
And they felt so special when they did them. Don't get me wrong, the last one was really good. Like the Vengeance Day, the one they've had just. It was awesome.
Really good, yeah.
I think their Halloween Havoc pay-per-view was just an episode of NXT, wasn't it?
Yeah, most of them are. A lot of them are. They're just like on Tuesdays. Like New Year's Eve was a.
In your house as much.
Can we set up for In Your House?
In Your House is a Saturday one, isn't it? I think.
Remember the first year they did that? Because obviously it was COVID, so it was like NXT In Your House, and then like the set, like going back to set. The set for that was really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like the entrance and stuff through the door, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that was like the old school In Your House pay-per-views,
yeah. I'm just saying.
Because that's what it used to be. That was the one unique set because apart from so basically you'd have Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, King of the Ring, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. They were your big 5 pay-per-views, then everything in between was In Your House.
And then Chris has just said, then All Out, then Full Gear. Going back to
All Out, then Full Gear, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's put, is it just me or did NXT start getting forgettable once they added the numbers to them?
Instead of just them having names?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, was it? Because I remember when they had names. And then did they sort of start numbering the takeovers instead? So I'll take over 36 or whatever.
Takeovers, yeah. It's got maybe takeover 13 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit UFC that for me.
I mean, that's a good comparison actually. But if you think about NXT, it got obviously it changed completely when 2.0 came in.
Yeah.
Chris says, like UFC.
Yeah. But I think NXT's finally starting to claw its way back.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see it back in like a proper arena.
Great crowd as well.
Yeah, really good.
Really. We'll never see it back at Full Sail.
I
don't think it will.
Yeah. I read something that there was talks about it, but whilst they've got that awesome setup at the Performance Centre, I can't see what they would.
You wouldn't spend, would you?
Yeah, you're paying for that, yeah. You're getting money's worth.
Yeah, exactly. But the setup at the Performance Centre is awesome. Yeah. It looks better now that the colours are the way they are.
Yeah,
the bloody
crayon explosion.
Yeah.
Black and gold. It's back to black and gold, isn't it?
But now it does finally. There's still some bits of NXT that I think, okay, this is not great. But there's a lot of it, especially the Vengeance Day pay-per-view, which felt like NXT again.
Chris says the glory days of NXT were amazing. Not even overblowing it, saying those few years were awesome as the Attitude Era, or close anyway. And Frank's put slightly off topic. What happened to EC3?
He's just signed a contract with NWA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's another one that they screwed over.
They dropped the ball massively because you look at EC3 and you automatically see a guy that Vince would cream his old man Brax over.
Yeah.
Jamie's here. He says, sorry, I'm late, guys.
No worries. Hello. Thanks for coming.
So, but
it's Vince's own fault as well. Because the reason he didn't like it because he was a match against Dean Ambrose. And then Dean was supposed to be a heel, and the crowd cheered Dean Ambrose because he's Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
They're going to boo him in the first place. Just like,
Did EC3 win as well?
I don't know. 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 I
They had EC3 go over.
Did,
they did because that was he was trying to bury Dean Ambrose because he was like refusing to sign the contract. And then he eventually obviously left. And then it was like, and then he blamed EC3. I mean, Dean Ambrose said it himself, hasn't he? Like he blamed EC3 for the crowd cheering for Dean Ambrose. It's like, well, what do you expect? He was in the fucking Shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And also, EC3 is a great heel.
Yeah.
Because he was a good-looking lad, chiseled to fuck.
Yeah.
The arrogance, great promo.
Yeah.
That's a perfect heel, and that's how he was booked in TNA or in Impact. And then, after that was crazy booking. Like trying to book. Everyone loved Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened to that guy, but he.
Strange.
Yeah.
Chris said NWA, man, it's gone so bad over there, and then that's when Ambrose was on its way out, wasn't it? Which is what we just said.
Yeah.
And then Frank said, "Have you guys heard the rumors of WWE looking to pick up Kenny Omega?"
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're all up for the deals are up soon.
But aren't they like part? Mind you, Cody Rhodes is a part owner, or a shareholder.
I don't know how much weight there is in this EVP stuff. I don't know. I don't think
there might not be any actually. It might just be something to get it off the ground and make a few phone calls when it first started. Really.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. That's probably hit the nail on the head. I'm not sure there's money involved there.
No, it might have just been, I'll make a few phone calls to see if I can get some.
Because Tony was after the money.
Yeah. I can see the Young Bucks in WWE.
The Snowman, yeah.
Yes,
I could see. Could I see Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in WWE?
Yeah, Young Bucks, definitely.
I could see Omega in WWE.
I think if you're Kenny Omega, it's like the one thing you haven't done, isn't it? WWE. I feel like you want to tick it off the bucket list.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, I don't. It's all. I mean, their contracts are up. What, next year? I think
it's this year. I think Omega's anyway.
Well, Omega owes them time for injury.
Okay.
I think so. So that's tacked on. And I don't think
tack it on to there. I didn't realise that.
WWE do that as well, yeah.
It makes sense to be fair, because if you're out, like look at Cody, he's been out for nearly a year.
So that would be tacked onto his contract basically, yeah.
Wow. Well, fair enough.
But could I see Kenny Omega in WWE? Yeah, I could. And I think now you've got the people running the show. I mean, it's like I saw people talking about Jay White, and if I don't know about Jay White going to WWE, be booked like shit. It's like, yeah, he would have been booked like shit before. But I think if you bring in a star of that quality in now, well, I think he'd be booked correct and in the right way, because it's not like it was before. No. But it's the people who call it the Fed or go over to Peacock or whatever the fuck these people say on Twitter, right? These idiots. And it's like, it's different now. It isn't what it was like before.
The thing is, well, people have got to look at it they've got to forget that Vince. They've got to remember, that Vince isn't involved.
Yeah.
And they forget that Triple H brought a lot of people over into NXT and how amazing they were.
They were his babies,
and then,
weren't they?
And then where they all fell off a cliff was when they went to the main roster and the old man was in charge.
Yeah. But now look at those people.
But then exactly.
They were released.
So look at
now they're in AEW. Like Adam Cole, for example. He's been unlucky. Adam Cole's been really unlucky with injuries. So I'm glad that he's coming back, because he can be that
career ending that injury.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. I mean, Adam Cole could have easily main rostered WWE, main evented. I mean, look at that episode of SmackDown that we always talk about when NXT saved the day.
Yeah.
But look at those people that Triple H booked perfectly in NXT.
They just fell apart.
Yeah.
Chris has just said, WWE did that to Harper, Jeff Hardy, and Mysterio.
Yeah, that's right.
One about bookings, yeah. And then Jamie says, Mom's drunk.
Nice. Good.
Happy Saturday.
She ain't staying at free Elimination Chamber.
Frank says 100%.
I was listening to Kenny Omega versus Finn Balor versus AJ Styles
versus Jay White
and Cody Rhodes.
And Cody Rhodes, yeah, Bullet Club 5-way.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But it's not beyond. It's not beyond possible to see Kenny Omega in the. I don't know what Chris thinks about this, but I don't think it's beyond. I don't think it's impossible to see Kenny Omega in WWE. I think if AEW hadn't have materialised, Omega would have been in WWE already.
Probably. And the Bucks.
And the Bucks, yeah.
Well, they had talks, didn't they?
Yeah, there was talks, yeah.
Bucks did, didn't it? About Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Frank says that would go so hard, and then Jamie says halfway there myself, to be honest. Fuck it, go shit face, Jamie.
But you know, the landscape of wrestling's changed so much recently. I mean, obviously, when AEW started, it was different. It was probably better. I think I preferred the start of AEW.
We went for ages without watching WWE.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
we went ages, months and months.
And I think it's. I mean, I've caught with AEW this week. There's some. There's some stuff that, again, it's the same every week, but it's the same with WWE. There's stuff that I really like, and there's stuff that I don't like. But you know, you combine the two, and you've got a great show.
Chris has just said here, it's not impossible when they formed AEW, they were also talking to Triple H, and the Bucks and Omega are anything but stupid.
Yeah. They'll go where the money is.
And hey, if Cody Rhodes can do it, anyone can do it. Like no one's like him.
Well, no, you are right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That if the money's right, then if the money's right, then that's where they'll go. Because let's be fair here, Tony's got money, but I think WWE could offer him ridiculous deals.
Oh, blank check probably. Checkbook.
Because they're huge stars. I mean, you know.
And it's imagine to get one over. Do you know what I mean? And it's
exactly.
Wouldn't it?
Imagine if the Bucks contracts were up now. They are who take the belts off the Usos at WrestleMania.
Straight away, yeah.
I mean, I saw.
That would be a surprise, wouldn't you? Like the Hardy Boys when they come back, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You'd have a surprise. You'd have like a triple threat, and then make it a fatal four-way at Mania, and then you'd have them come out and win. Yeah. That'd be perfect, actually. Imagine that.
I mean, I don't know what the contract status of FTR is, because I know that I saw that thing yesterday.
Well, actually, them coming back.
Well, I can as well, but I saw this thing yesterday. Dash. Which one is that?
Both ones.
See the one that punched the guy at...
no, that's Cash, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Dash posted a picture on Twitter yesterday, and it's been deleted, and he re-uploaded it. But I don't know if you've seen this or not. So basically, it's like having a bottle, and they've got it's got all the tag titles in one on the wall. He had this bottle of whiskey there in his glass. There was a bit of paper, and it had the WWE logo on it. And then he deleted that tweet and re-uploaded it with with that bit cut out.
Right. Okay.
And then people were like, "Oh, it could be a WWE contract," but you know, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
They could be out. They know Dax. They know what they're doing. But those two I could see back in WWE.
Yeah. Chris just said Mania 2024 Tag Team Championship match on Young Bucks versus FTR.
Hey, look again, not impossible.
God, could you imagine if they left? I think Tony Khan would be up shit creek with that. I
don't think he would, because I don't think he gives a shit. Because
really?
I don't think that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega leaving AEW damages AEW. I don't.
The roster's massive.
Yeah,
the roster's enormous.
He's done what WWE did, and that's just signed too many fucking people.
It's bloated. The AEW roster's bloated. WWE's bloated to a degree, but it's a bit better now.
They've trimmed a lot down, though, haven't they?
I think AEW. The natural progression for Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks is to go and finish. Is to go to WWE and have an awesome run there, just to say that they've done it.
Chris has just said Dax already said on his podcast that Tony agreed to give him 3 months off at the end of their contracts, as long as they kept in touch and told him where their heads were at, so anything could happen.
Yeah, I do think they'll go back to WWE. Yeah. Be interesting to see if
do you reckon they're like a couple of people that Triple H tried to poach back? When he came back, because didn't have this. We discussed this last month. He threatened a couple of people. WWE were legal over a couple of them, didn't they? I reckon they could probably. Because you need to bulk up the tag division again, because it has gone quite slim, hasn't it?
You need someone to take the belts off the Usos.
Again, booked so well in NXT.
Perfect.
Main roster.
Yeah, and it's weird considering they won the tag titles like what, 3 times on the main roster.
Yeah. But they just never felt
like a proper run, did it?
Never felt like.
Because did they win on one week and then lose on the next?
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
Stupid.
But
they are very good.
I do feel like the tag titles a lot for recently, and not the past. I mean, how long have you used them? Months. About that.
Well, they've had them not
probably not
short of the range, yeah.
But I don't really think the tag titles on either SmackDown or Raw I felt special for a couple of years.
That is the one division that AEW has been good with.
Haven't they got triple tag teams?
They've got trios. I like trios. I'm a big fan of trios. I used to like that in Lucha Underground as well.
Frank says, MJF, Jericho. I can see MJF in WWE at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Jericho, Punk, Darby Allin, AW, and Thrive without a maybe on box.
Yeah, I think
probably I can see I could see MJF though in WWE, and I said to you when he did that, he kicked off, didn't he, on Dynamite or Rampage, whatever it was, where he actually, I think he called Tony a fucking mark, like off script, and I think Warner Brothers like banned him for like 2 months, didn't they? I said to you, didn't I? Imagine if he rocked up at WWE like out of nowhere, but I could see that.
I always thought MJF would be the first one to go AEW to WWE, because it's a sort of shit house thing he'd do.
Yeah,
and he doesn't give a shit.
And it ended up being Cody, but I could definitely see it happening.
Do you see the obviously there's been a lot of talk of Jay White recently, because obviously he's a free agent now. And I saw something yesterday that that basically WWE had internally discussed Jay White, but they were asked, there was another free agent that they felt was a bigger deal than Jay White.
Yeah, that'd be Omega, surely.
He's not free yet. I think it's Ibushi.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Kota Ibushi's a free agent. And he's wrestled for WWE before. He wrestled in the, if you remember right, he was in the Cruiserweight Classic.
He was, yeah.
And he was fucking awesome.
And
he is awesome. Sorry?
Do you reckon they'll bring the Cruiserweight stuff back?
No.
I think it's done.
I don't think in modern wrestling you can do it. And I'll tell you why. It's because you've got people wrestling for the heavyweight championship that are under 205 pounds.
Yeah.
It's not like before when, you know, the heavyweight championship was exclusive to people like Brock or
big guys.
Bigger guys like Hogan, Cena, The Rock. You know, people who were
obviously over
legit heavyweights.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think you can. Because Finn Balor was the Universal Champion while the Cruiserweight title was present, and Finn Balor weighs less than 197. Yeah, 185 or something like that.
Just going to catch up on a couple of comments that Chris said a bit earlier. The only issue with FTR they were, and to an extent, still are according to Dax recently incredibly pissed off with the whole Raw burial against the Click at the time. And then MJF is like 27, stupidly young, which he's very young. And then Frank says MJF is phenomenal. He's really skilled on the mic. And then Chris says everyone's a cruiserweight.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Everyone's a cruiserweight. Adam Cole, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's impossible to have a cruiserweight division now.
I think they'll bring back the Mae Young stuff from Mae Young Classic. The girl, women, or do you think?
Oh, I can see them doing it again. It was good. I thought. Yeah.
I sort of feel like that was like that packed out NXT a lot really when the women that did really well in that. I think it's Tony Storm.
She won it, yeah.
Didn't she? Yeah.
Well, she was in NXT UK first, then she was in the Mae Young Classic. Yeah. Rhea Ripley was in there.
Yeah, she was.
Who won the first one?
Shoot, I don't know.
Oh, was it Kairi Sane?
Yes.
Yes.
Because didn't they have the final on Evolution, the women's pay-per-view? That one-time women's pay-per-view that they had, the all-women pay-per-view.
That looked like a house show.
Yes. Yeah. And they got slammed because it looked like a house show. Yeah.
It looked brutally like a house show as well. Like they'd done it.
It was dark.
You know what? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, real dark.
The lights were down.
It was like when
it didn't sell.
Yeah, it was like when they did the first Roadblock, but it was like a filmed house show.
Oh yeah.
It was on. Was it like in the afternoon over here or something like that? But they filmed that, and it was basically a house show, and that's what Evolution was. Yeah. Nothing more.
I did feel bad for them, but they did get a lot of shit, didn't they? Chris says Finn is more muscular than Cole. Finn's still baby.
Yeah. Oh, this Finn. I thought you meant Finn Balor.
Me Finn, yeah.
Yeah. You are more muscular than Cole.
Yeah.
Frank says, what's your guys' coolest piece of WWE? Everyone looks at Sonny's collection.
I think my coolest piece of that Ultimate Warrior or this miniature WWE United Kingdom Championship before it changed to the NXT UK Championship. That's my coolest piece.
That we ended up actually getting for free in the end.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice.
They refunded it back.
That's definitely the Ultimate Warrior that I've got there is definitely the oldest piece of WWE merchandise that I've got, but it's probably over 30 years now. And the rest.
I don't really have much wrestling stuff. I've done t-shirts. I've got an Edge DVD, which is pretty cool. About that for years.
Nice.
That's like Decade of Decadence or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
How many WWE merch?
Yeah, I've got a pair of used Hulk Hogan bracks.
Yeah, nice.
Piss-stained yellow pants don't count.
Right.
Chris says he's got 4 autographs. We've actually got the autographs of Imperium when they were in NXT UK, and we got them at Download.
Oh.
I saw them the other day when I was clearing out that contest.
It's not. Sorry, it's not. This isn't merch or memorabilia or anything like that. But I found some photos. Remember photos? Actual physical photos.
Oh, right.
Bloody hell.
And that's the thing where you have the big bird box thing and you pull the cord.
You have to like hold the pose for about 10 seconds.
And when you're posing for it, you can't
smile.
Yeah.
I
found a picture of Nico Cousin with Farouk.
Right, nice.
Fucking brilliant.
Was it when he was Ron Simmons, or was he actually Farouk at this point?
He was Ron Simmons, and we went to a house show in Birmingham at, I think it must have been the NIA, and he was walking round and people were just shouting down at him.
Yeah.
I was like, can get a photo. He looked scared as shit. Big Ron.
Frank says, my only one is a match worn James Ellsworth shirt, which he gave me at a house show.
Wow.
Cameron Bailey went over to my little sister and gave her t-shirt, and she got like AJ Styles' gloves in one night at a house show. That was crazy. And Squinny says, Hard Knocks, the Chris Benoit story DVD is a personal favourite.
Do you know what? I nearly went down. When you asked me, I nearly went down the Benoit route.
Going back to the Imperium autographs, this is how crazy. This is how crazy like things are now. It's like I spoke to Alexander Wolf, a show that I worked with him, and told him about meeting him at Download and getting his autograph on a WWE thing, and then going from that to working a show with him was like crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it felt like a really cool moment.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shall we have a look at matches tonight?
Oh yeah, Elimination Chamber. I love doing these shows because I like the comments, I like the interaction.
Yeah,
we just talk about random stuff. It's it's awesome.
Okay, so shall we have a look at Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley?
Yeah.
Big
men, meaty, muscly men.
Meaty men slapping.
Look at that beef. Paul, if you're gonna keep booking these skinny motherfuckers, just please book these two beefy bastards for me. I'm backing up here. Yeah, I won't come back, but only if you book Lesnar versus Lashley.
Sonny the King Garner and Hey Brock run.
Yeah, because I think they might set that up.
What's that? Sorry.
So Bray Wyatt on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, of course.
Basically, sort of calls out the winner of Lashley and Lesnar.
Oh fuck.
And I'm guessing that'll build to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You've already hit round the process.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You've been exposed himself at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like these two. This is a good match to have. And I know they've had it a few times now.
Yeah, but they're having it under Triple H now, aren't they?
But I feel like this build, you book them as equals, and that's exactly what they are to a degree. Lesnar's hard as fuck. Lashley's done MMA, but they're both built. You know what I mean? They're both the big guys.
Men, yeah.
They're what was the heavyweight champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like the way that they've been booked. They've been booked as equals. Lashley's been because Brock would usually come back, he'd do his F5s, and then he'd destroy everyone and go. And then, but Lashley threw him out of the Royal Rumble. Lashley's put him through a table and all this sort of, so it's actually been really good, like the booking of it. I like it a lot.
Me too. It's been good.
And I like Lashley anyway. He needed MVP at one point to help get him through.
Yeah, it's been a mouthpiece.
He was booked a bit badly when he first come back, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, but his run as champion I thought was great.
Yeah, really dominating run, I think.
They fucked the Hurt Business up. They really messed that up.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to bring it back now.
I think so, yeah.
I like the factions. I think the factions are really interesting. Keeps it busy and different.
Plus the Hurt Business were great, but the only problem was how they booked Benjamin and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah. They just broke them up almost immediately. But the MVP's been seen with backstage as Cedric and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, and are they faces now? Because they won. The tag match was celebrating like faces.
Yeah, I think so, sort of.
I saw a rumor yesterday that they were toying with the idea of bringing Carmelo Hayes into the Hurt Business.
Oh, okay. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be okay with that.
I'd rather not Trick Williams though.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his just yet. It's still got. Well, I mean, I like him, but it's still not at that level yet. I don't think.
No, whereas Carmelo Hayes is like.
Oh yeah, he's
like, oh my god, he's a future champion, isn't he?
Oh yeah, big time.
But going back to is Lashley in the Hurt Business again? Is he with MVP again or what? I don't know.
They haven't confirmed it. They're sort of flirting with it, I think. But maybe MVP helps him win tonight. Maybe. It's also that Omos is still hanging about with MVP, which is.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Omos.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Don't know how he's fucking massive.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking about Edges as well. So important. Yeah. Important.
I mean, let's be fair here. The more interesting match is Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt, right?
I was just going to come to the comments. Frank says he wants Lashley Bray at Mania.
Lashley Bray. Okay. Why? What? Okay. Why?
He hasn't said why.
Okay.
Going back to, I'm just going to read it out because we're getting a few come through. Going back to one about memorabilia stuff. Squinny says meeting Cody Rhodes at Fight Forever show in 2018 was amazing. Spent ages talking to me, looking through my WWE encyclopedia to find Eden Styles for Brandon.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then Chris says that's awesome squinting. And in response to, I think it's in response to Frank's comment about wanting Lashley Bray at Mania, Chris says good luck. And Chris also says still rabbit Trick Williams for kids.
Yeah.
I think Lesnar versus Bray is the more interesting WrestleMania match.
I think so.
Yeah, it's because Lesnar's got to do something at Mania. It's just big Bob Lesnar.
Yeah, he's still a big deal.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Lesnar and Bray? You haven't had
Not that I can remember.
Not in any sort. I can't remember in any sort.
Even when Bray was champion.
Yeah, he didn't make an appearance, did he, like he normally would have done?
It was Goldberg.
Oh,
it was Goldberg, wasn't it?
He could take the fuck away.
Goldberg beat Bray, then Brock beat Goldberg.
Yeah.
But I think if they do that match, Bray has to win. He has to win.
Bray has to win because otherwise all of this is for nothing.
Absolutely.
Frank says, I'm not sure to be honest, I'm sick of seeing Lesnar at Mania.
Yeah.
Chris says he ain't going anywhere. I thought we have to agree with Chris really, don't we? He ain't going anywhere.
Who?
Brock.
Brock, yeah.
The match will suck, I reckon.
I prefer seeing Brock now because he looks like he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
Whereas before it felt very much,
sure.
I'm here because I have to be
fulfill
here.
my contract.
Yeah. I've been contracted for 5 matches a year. Here I am to do my F5.
Get me the fuck home.
Listen to Paul Heyman talk. Whereas now he's doing his own promos. Yeah. You can tell he's been doing media stuff. Yeah. And it looks like he's having fun with it, which is exactly what wrestling is. Wrestling should be fun.
Well, the fact that he's allowing others to put him through tables, eliminate him out of the Royal Rumble. You know,
it's like he's clicked with him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like he's like, I've got to play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all heard I mean, we heard the Dean Ambrose. Was it Dean Ambrose that said?
Yeah.
I had that match against him. He didn't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He just said, "No, I'm gonna suplex you a few times. F5 you, but the match is over."
Was that during the horrendously uncomfortable Stone Cold podcast with Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
My God, that was awful.
It was bad.
It was horrible to watch because he does not look like an easy person to talk to.
No,
at all.
But he said himself, I think Dean Ambrose has said himself that he regrets it.
Yeah.
Because I think he was just being awkward for awkward's sake.
Yeah, he was champion at this point as well, wasn't he? Yeah. Going back to the match, I think Lesnar wins. But then I think maybe we see Bray after the match.
Yeah.
Maybe
interferes with the match.
I think the match plays out. Lesnar wins, lights go down, Bray, Sister Abigail.
So you could see the Sister Abigail, because has Alexa Bliss been seen since the Rumble?
Yeah. I don't know, actually.
I think she's showed up once or twice, yeah. Yeah, that feels like what's going on with that.
I want to say Sister Abigail, I'm in the move.
Oh,
Bray does the move on Lesnar.
Oh, yeah.
Leaves his lines.
He showed up on SmackDown with Bray.
It's definitely Bo Dallas as well, by the way.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he showed up on serious face.
Yeah, it's definitely Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
He's Slayer's the other one.
Yeah. Yeah. But he turned up the Sister Abigail on Top Dollar. No, Chance on.
Ashanti the Adonis, so you can be forgiven for not knowing who they are.
Yeah, absolutely shit. But that's what Hippo does these days, get beaten up.
Yeah.
Frank says, yeah, he doesn't feel like a part-timer anymore, and that was because he had a UFC fight upcoming. He was dipping in and out, weren't he, to be fair, but
yeah, illness is...
Brock maybe sort of knows that he's not on top at the minute and just to go out and do whatever you want.
Like I said, it almost feels like it's clicked with him. That he's
again.
Like he's actually finally understood what pro wrestling can be and should be, and you know he's coming down and you see it in him. He's a lot more relaxed. Whereas before, I almost feel like because he was still involved with UFC, that it was almost. I mean, I'm going to embarrassed almost.
Yeah.
Just because he was a legit heavyweight champion in UFC. Then he comes back to WWE after, you know, his UFC career went down. And then he's gone from that to fake fighting or whatever. And, you know, it's probably a bit of embarrassment. So he comes there, takes his massive pay, and then fucks off. Yeah. But now he's, you know, WWE is, you know.
And the thing is, I mean, again, you've got someone else in charge now.
Mm-hmm.
Could make a difference. His kids are all grown up now as well. You know, all those things can play huge factors into wanting to be somewhere and not wanting to be somewhere.
But you don't hear negatives about Brock now.
No. Before it was, well, it's the Dean Ambrose thing.
Yeah, I mean, look at
impossible to work with.
Yeah, I mean, look at when he first came back and had that match against Cena, which Cena won, which was ridiculous still. Oh, yeah. And then Cena sort of did that promo afterwards about never give up and all this bollocks. And apparently Brock was kicking off backstage. Really? Because Brock had obviously beat the shit out of him throughout the whole match and Cena won. Then Cena did it was Extreme Rules, whatever year Brock came back. And he was kicking off backstage, like smashing shit up. And then that same year, I'm not sure if that was the Randy Orton year where he was like elbowing him and big hard man Jericho was squaring up to Brock backstage. There was always something negative to be said about Brock, but now you never hear anything.
Frank's just said here, as harsh as this sounds, I think having Heyman with him made him feel really one-dimensional as a character. And then Chris says he was, but that worked for a very long time.
It did. It was money for a long, long time.
Yeah, it was.
But you've got to change things up. And it's, you know, the fact that he's been receptive to it.
The fact he's smiling and high-fiving people in the crowd. Like, you never
had that. Yeah, he never did that before.
No.
You could tell when he came back and when he first came back and he had the ponytail.
Monkey Brock.
Just before he started wearing dungarees and shit.
Do you remember the Brock party stuff from Money in the Bank when he came back as a surprise? That was amazing. Where he had
party's over, Grandpa.
Fucking amazing. And he come back on Raw with a fucking boombox on his shoulders and headbanging. Yeah.
When he wasn't in Money in the Bank, but made himself in Money in the Bank anyway.
God, remember the crowd reaction when his music started at the start? It was insane.
But it's good to see him happy and enjoying it, and it makes it better seeing Lesnar now, knowing that he's.
You don't think, oh, for fuck's sake, when he comes back there, yeah. And Chris has just said even the Undertaker changed at times.
Yeah.
Who do we think's going to win?
Lesnar.
Yeah, I think Lesnar's played that.
Brock, yeah.
Yeah, Lesnar, and then we see Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Then we have the Women's Elimination Chamber match, and I think that's Carmella, Nikki Cross, if she's still called Nikki Cross, if she's gone back.
Yeah.
Is it Gabrielle Rodriguez? I can't.
Raquel,
that's it, Gabrielle. Yeah. Asuka, Natalya, and Liv Morgan. Well, I don't think Natalya's going to win it.
This isn't for the championship, is it? This is for.
I think it's for a match, isn't it?
So who fights Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who won the women's rumble again?
Rhea
Ripley. Oh, yeah, she's
wrestling Charlotte.
She's going to win.
Oh, we got any pictures of Charlotte Flair on there that we can.
We're ready. Which one should we do?
Well, whichever. Both work. There we go. So Charlotte Flair pictured there. This fighting Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
That one again. Sorry. Not really.
Oh, not sorry.
You're never sorry for it.
Sorry. So yeah, going back to the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
That's on. So this is to fight Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
I think it's going to be Asuka.
I would like it to be Asuka.
I'd love it to be Asuka. And I sort of feel like, you know how Rhea Ripley's gone for Charlotte Flair? and Charlotte Flair took the title off Rhea at Mania a couple of weeks ago for the NXT title, because it was 2020, wasn't it, and she was NXT champion. I think Rhea's going to win as like a stick in the visa. She should have won then. And I think Asuka will win at Mania because she should have won against Charlotte.
She absolutely should have won against Charlotte.
In my opinion, that was the year the first Mania I watched with you. And we all came around.
Yeah, because Charlotte beat Asuka's undefeated streak.
Yeah, with the crab move that she does.
That's the same year that Vince royally fucked up AJ Styles versus Nakamura as well.
God, yeah. The low blows.
So it was Mania New Orleans, wasn't it? That's Mania 36. 35, 36.
Is that the Ronda Rousey year as well, where she had that really good first match? Yeah, it is.
Ronda Rousey came back the year after.
No, it was that year, because that was the...
Yes, no, you are right, yeah, because she had a match with Kurt Angle with
Triple H
and stuff, yeah.
I think Asuka has to win this.
She was trending earlier on Twitter, I don't know whether it was like...
Who Asuka was?
Yeah, because they wanted to win. People wanted to win.
Yeah, just come back with a new gimmick, do face paint and stuff.
Especially doing the Kana gimmick, isn't she?
Yeah, Frank laughed at the picture of Charlotte. Chris said yes, and then Finn still hates it. And then Chris says we were so disgusting. And then did you see the fact during the Women's Rumble?
The fact?
Yeah.
What fact?
Doesn't say.
Oh.
Hang on. When Asuka was entering, they said she had won the only Rumble she was in. She wasn't in another Rumble until this year. Huh. Really?
She must have been injured. That's the only thing I can think.
What's that say again?
Asuka was in the Rumble that she won.
Yeah.
And hasn't been in another Rumble until this one.
Oh.
I didn't realise that.
No.
Bloody hell. What was the first one?
She's had a lot of time. She had a fair bit of time. I think
she has that injury, isn't she? Yeah.
That's got to be it, though, hasn't it? That's got to be the reason.
Frank said it has to be Asuka, if not, then Liv Morgan. I don't see Liv winning it. And then he says, I don't see anyone else winning. It'll be Asuka.
It won't, who else in it? Carmella? It won't be Natalia.
It won't be Natalia. It won't be Nikki Cross. It won't be Carmella.
Carmella's only just come back. I'd like to see Carmella.
I thought about saying that, but now.
Yeah, you've got Natalia, Liv, Asuka, Raquel.
She isn't. Yeah,
she ain't going to win it. Nikki Cross or Carmella. So Asuka's winning it, basically.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I'd like to see Shayna Baszler in there, to be honest. But
yeah, I think they're going to run some sort of tag team thing with her and Ronda, yeah.
Which makes sense. And then have them two scrap.
I'd love them two to wrestle each other, yeah. It'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be a really good match, that would.
Yeah.
They would kick the shit out of each other as well, with consent, because you know they're both good. Yeah, that's what I mean. They would beat the shit out of each other.
The thing is, I mean, again, Shayna Baszler's one that they massively dropped the ball with, because she was awesome in NXT. Yeah. She was never gonna lose that title either.
Yeah, they're right.
Shayna 2 times. She was dominant.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Do you remember when she absolutely was it Bayley? That episode where NXT took over SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been Bayley giving a promo in the ring, and Shayna runs over and like kneed her, clattered her right in the face, awesome. And just stood there. It was
when she came up to the main roster and again
got booked poorly. She had the awesome match with Becky at Mania 2020, and then lost. And even Becky was like, Shayna should have won. But Becky was part of it, yeah.
She did,
Chris says Shayna the Vampire, and then Frankie Keys here.
Oh, hi, Frank.
He says Sammy to win by DQ. Rover keeps the belts, and we get 2 title matches at Mania. We ain't that far, dude. But yeah. And then Frank says, as someone who's only just got back into wrestling, what's Nikki Cross's gimmick? I just remember Samity. God, she's been through the water, hasn't she?
Yeah,
literally,
she's gone full circle.
Yeah.
What you're seeing in WWE at the minute is Triple H undoing Vince's doing and putting it back to what he originally created.
Chris has just said she's basically gone back to that, but she has, which is better because she's better for it.
With Eric Young due back soon, you could see another version of Sanity.
Yeah, we go with that.
Yeah,
of some kind, maybe.
We're back. What's his name? WWE Big Damo.
Killian Dane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because did he get released?
Yeah, he's working.
Married to him.
He's working the Indies in this country at the minute.
Frank says, okay, good. Yeah, we agree. Because the Nikki ASH stuff was...
It was shit, yeah.
SHIT, yeah. Chris says, wait, what? Eric going back?
Yeah. I was... did you not see that a while ago? So basically, they killed him in Impact. Literally killed him. No, I'm not even joking. They killed him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who was he who did it?
He was stabbed to death.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. They literally killed him in TNA.
What?
Yeah.
You can die if you die.
It's like wrestling killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not real. How's he going to come back?
Are they going to come back if he's
Paramedics shooting up.
What, they kill him and bring him back from the dead?
No. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, she sounded really serious. Like, you know, they killed him.
They killed him.
Yeah.
No one's put anything dodgy in there yet that I read.
Yeah, Eric Young is apparently due back. Apparently he re-signed a while ago, but he's not been on TV yet. There was a rumor that he could be part of the whole Bray Wyatt stuff and come back as part of that faction, but he is due back apparently.
Yeah, Sweeney says, didn't you get shot by Sweeney?
Was it shot?
No, that was someone else, wasn't it?
And Frank says that's typical TNA.
Yeah.
just killing me.
Pretty much, yeah.
It was basically to get him out of Violent by Design.
Right.
The faction.
Yeah.
And whoever took over Violent by Design killed him. Steve Macklin, was it maybe? I'm not sure. I don't know. Either way, he died in TNA. They killed him. And now he's coming back into WWE. Apparently.
Frankie T has said Damian Priest, Balor and Rhea, Liv Morgan, Sammy and Bobby Lashley all to win.
Bobby Lashley. Not sure about that, Frankie.
Frank says, well, do we know who Uncle Howdy is?
Bo Dallas.
Gotta be.
Yeah, haven't they confirmed it's Bo Dallas?
He was backstage.
It's Bo Dallas, isn't it?
Also, the guy is the same shape.
Yeah, Bray's brother. So yeah, Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
So who's going to win the Elimination Chamber match?
Oscar.
I think Oscar will win it. I don't see Liv winning out over Oscar.
No.
Now she's come back as the heel with the paint and stuff. I don't see it.
Is she even a heel?
I think she is, probably, yeah.
I think she's intended to be, but I don't think people can boo her, can they?
Yeah, I think they're like in the process of turning her, maybe.
Yeah.
So we all think Oscar's going to win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's makes more sense, doesn't it? Shall we move on?
Yeah, shall we do you want to play a quick so we'll take a very quick break, but check out these two cool videos, one from Black Country Championship Wrestling and the other from Wrestle Carnival, just a little highlights package.
Sam Bailey manages to escape there courtesy of a scorpion kick. Oh, flatliner. Still on his feet. Oh! He's got him up in that fireman's carry, and what's he thinking here? Oh, the sit-out driver. Charlie Morgan, though, catches the kick. Nice does not make. Wait a second here. Oh! Lana.
Oh, there it is! I can't believe what we're about to see.
Coast to coast, corner to corner.
All right, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that little break. Steve went for a wee. Yeah. We hope you enjoyed that. So before we carry on, so Black Country Championship Wrestling Fallout is April the 7th. Go to bccw2021.com for tickets for that one. And Wrestle Carnival is back in Nottingham at the end of April. Go to thewrestlecarnival.com for tickets for that one.
So before we go on to the next match, a couple of comments came in. Frank says, Bo Dallas, I don't believe it. And Chris says it's unbelievable. And Frankie T says, I said Liv Morgan because Rhea is going to beat Charlotte and will be moving to SmackDown. I think it says live, but I think it meant Liv. Liv will be more over on Raw in return. And then Chris as well. Tony Schiavone's accent has changed a bit.
Oh.
So I think the next match then will be the mixed tag. So you've got Edge, Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley.
Beth Phoenix is massive though, right?
She is on form.
She's a fucking beast. She's bigger now than she's probably looks better now than she's ever looked, I think.
Yeah.
Rhea is also fucking massive.
Oh yeah.
But when we first saw her at NXT UK, the Tapins in Birmingham, and she was big then, but oh god.
Yeah, she's unbelievable now.
Yeah.
But Beth, like this is the best version of Beth Phoenix that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think.
Me too. It's badass.
Yeah. Serious badass. She looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Edge looks old as shit.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He looks knackered, doesn't he?
He does look
He does look knackered. He's still awesome though, Edge.
Oh, he's still.
Yeah, Edge is absolutely awesome.
Big match.
It's difficult to. I mean, I feel like Judgment Day need to win because of keeping up momentum to road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're going to do with Finn Balor in the build-up to WrestleMania. You've got to do something with Judgment Day at WrestleMania. So.
Yeah, Chris has just said I would happily take Beth Phoenix. I would happily take Beth Phoenix.
That's some sort of sexual.
Probably because he's put the eye emojis on it afterwards.
Nice.
And Frank says this is a match I can see going either way.
Yeah,
I do think Judgment Day have to win though, so I do agree with you on that. But I don't know what they're going to do.
I mean, you could have. I mean, depending on when you're going to split the tag team titles, you could have Priest and Finn Balor going for the
tag titles.
For the tag titles.
Ones if Priest is on SmackDown.
Well, yeah, you could shift Judgment Day over to SmackDown, I guess.
Yeah, true.
If you've got the Hurt Business potentially coming back, you could put them on Raw. Well, we're a Hit Row. Are they on SmackDown?
It doesn't matter where they are. Viking Raiders still? They're on.
No, SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah.
Match against the
Viking Experience.
Viking Experience.
Absolutely unbelievable. The Viking Experience, you know?
John says Uncle Howdy is Howdy Boy.
Who said that?
John.
Who's John?
Just John.
John.
Right, John?
John?
No idea.
John.
Probably not. Frank says I've seen some people saying they're going to have one Edge versus Balor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
I do think
Actually,
I said a little while ago they've got to stick some sort of title on the men in Judgment Day. If they're going to do something with Rhea, they've got to stick titles on the men. Just Priest and Balor.
Is David Priest in the Elimination Chamber? Have him win and be United States champion.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
Yeah. He can win and be United States champion. And then he can defend that at Mania. And then Finn versus Edge. Then Dominic versus Bray. And Rhea versus Charlotte. There you go.
Yeah.
Book it, true.
Or you have. Well, it's got to be Dominic versus Ray, actually, hasn't it? It just has to be.
At this point, yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be Dominic versus Ray. Maybe Edge and Beth win tonight, then Finn Balor beats Edge at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Give Finn Balor a really good win on the main roster.
I think he deserves it, don't he?
Then have Jay White.
Then
have Jay White come to WWE the night after WrestleMania and confront Finn Balor.
Yeah,
just booked a winner. Just booked it. I booked it. It's not like it's not booked it. It ain't happening.
Yeah, it is one I could see going either way, but they have got to do something with Judgment Day. And then Chris just said if Finn needs it, I completely agree. I think he's been fucked poorly.
And deserves it.
Yeah, he's been fucked really badly since he come back from that injury when he won the title.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he had a good run on NXT. I enjoyed that.
Okay, he's come back as a prince, didn't he? But then again, just booked really badly on the main roster. Didn't they have him lose his first match back?
Yeah.
Or it was on the free show. They put him on the free show. Like
he came back on. Did he come back on SmackDown or something?
He did, yeah.
Was it like Finn Balor just didn't get back on Raw on the free show?
Yeah, that ain't a free show match.
Yeah.
That is not a free show match.
But Triple H, Finn Balor's Triple H's boy.
Yeah.
So there's no two ways about it. We'll see the best of Finn Balor now, but I think he'll get his big win at WrestleMania. Yeah. If it's not tonight, if Edge and Beth Phoenix win tonight,
just to get that out of the way.
Just to get that out of the way. But then you can carry on the story and have Finn Balor win at WrestleMania.
Chris says he needs to win, or he runs the risk of something similar to Wyatt always wins in the big match.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
He's lost some big fucking matches, isn't he? Really.
It's almost sort of like make the build up great, but you're not going to win.
Didn't he lose the IC and US title like stupid quick as well? Like Vince
Yeah, the IC title,
him.
didn't it? The US title, sorry.
Yeah, Vince took him on him, but then like took him off him quick. It weren't long. He didn't have a decent run with them. Almost felt like he was punishing him really. And then Frank says,
he lost the US title really quick, actually.
yeah, he did. And then Frank says Nakamura's also been underbooked.
Yeah, where's it? He's not even back, is he, at the minute?
I think so.
He wrestled the Great Muta in Noah, and he's not been seen since. But they could repackage him the way that they did, the way that they booked him. Well, the way that he was booked against Muta in Japan, and have him like a, you know, that kind of absolute badass.
Yeah.
He had his WWE music and the violin dude and stuff in Japan.
Yeah.
Wrestling for Life Network is here.
Nice. Hey.
Hello.
Emoji.
Nice. What's happening, dude?
Okay. So who do we think then?
What match was this? Oh yeah. Edge. I think Edge and Beth.
Edge and Beth.
Okay. I'll go Finn and Rhea.
Yeah, Judgment Day.
Yeah, I think Judgment Day could win.
Cool.
Okay. Next then we have because we've just been speaking about Damien Priest, we'll show the men's chamber match. So then you've got Montez Ford, Johnny Gargano,
this has the potential to bang so hard.
Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, I can't pronounce the names. Damien Priest and is it Bron Breakker? Yeah.
Bron Breakker's not in the Elimination
Not
Chamber.
Bron Breakker.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was Bron Breakker. It's not Bronson Reed, is it?
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, we've got Damien Priest, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, and Montez Ford. Yeah, that's their match. That one for me could go either way.
This goes on first, I think.
Yeah.
Must be,
Yeah, because the main event is obviously going to be Roman versus Sammy because it has to be.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I like Austin Theory, but I don't think
he's not ready. I don't think.
This run. I'm not even sure it's that. I don't think this run resonates with anyone.
Yeah. It's kind of the leftover from Vince's thing because they've dropped that gimmick now, but it's kind of left in limbo. It's like
I think
he got a gimmick at the minute, I guess.
I think they only put the belt on him to make up for the fact that he lost the Money in the Bank. So in such a shit way.
So Chris says Theory's winning, isn't he? Seth starts and is the workhorse of the match.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then Frank says, I can't say too much on this. I don't think Rollins will win. I don't think Rollins will win. I think it's just. Well, I don't know though, because he's having a pretty mouthy run at the minute, isn't he?
He's having a great run at the minute.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's in a limbo a little bit, Rollins, at the minute, because he's there to sort of again build. Yeah, he's there to sort of, like we talked about a minute ago, build up a feud, but then not necessarily get the payoff.
Yeah, he had a match against Logan Paul at Mania.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Seth Rollins isn't winning this.
No, I don't think.
We said either Montez Ford could win it, and then that could be the start of breaking up the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Because Montez Ford is a champion in the making. He's got it all over him.
Yeah.
He just looks the part.
I think he's in there. I think he's in this match for a spot. The more I think about it, I think he's in this match for a spot.
Yeah.
But also, this could be one of them sort of star-making breakout nights for Montez Ford.
Yeah.
Like this could be his big. Yeah. Fucking hell! Did you see Montez Ford in that match?
Yeah.
Type thing.
Going back to Seth, Chris says, is Seth becoming the 2000 HBK of modern WWE? Huge matches, but no title shots. And then Frank says, yeah, but he's got his match versus Logan at Mania, which we just said, so they don't need to stick a title on him.
No, you're right. You know what? I didn't even think of that because you know what? He's done a very good job of distracting from it.
Yeah, true.
Wearing everything you don't talk
in the shoes.
Exactly, yeah. The boots and them.
Have you seen those boots though? They're like $350 to buy. They're like a proper brand. I think Kofi Kingston's just bought himself a pair.
I bought two.
What colours did you get?
Yeah, red and pink. Is there different colours?
You don't
just red?
I'll wear one of each.
I'll start wearing them on commentary. Not that you can see it. I'm just under the desk, but yeah.
They look like you know when you see them on like the Mr. Men books. The lot of boots that you'd see Mr. Men wearing.
They look like Sonic's boots.
Oh yeah,
and it's got like white,
Yeah.
white strap.
They can't be comfortable either, right?
They look like rubber.
They look awful.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
They look like the things you put on top of a pencil.
Oh yeah.
Frank says Seth and the Miz are so underrated, getting others over. Completely agree.
Yeah.
The Miz is always.
Did you see the Miz the other night?
The basketball.
Yeah.
No.
He scored a half court.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the buzzer.
You know,
Unbelievable.
Frank's right there. I think a lot of when people come up to the main roster, they always beef with Miz or Seth Rollins because they carry them really well.
Yeah.
And they push them. Like the Miz especially is really, really good for that.
Yeah. The Miz at this point in his career, he doesn't need to be champion.
He's actually just coasting, isn't he? He ain't bothered.
Living the dream. He's got his
reality TV show.
He's got his reality TV show. He's got his ridiculous model-looking wife. He's got his kids. I mean, the Miz is made. You know, he doesn't need to be the WWE champion. Doesn't need to be any sort of champion. He's happy playing a role on TV.
Surprised we didn't see Marie actually in the Rumble.
Yeah. Again, I don't think she's interested.
I don't think she is, but I'm surprised we didn't see her.
But Seth, this will only fly for so long. I don't think it'll be.
I don't know. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, but he's been like, he was US champion for a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Obviously, saying that over the last year, I mean, he obviously lost to Cody 3 times.
Yeah.
And then.
But he's still carried it really well and has come back and faced with
But you've not looked at it and thought they're burying Seth here.
No.
Not one time have you looked at it and thought that, because that's how good Seth is.
He also looks like he's having the time of his fucking life.
He does actually, yeah.
Like he looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you see these things happen, like people lose it all the time. Think, oh my God. Especially if Vince is in charge, like Vince is burying him, wonder why he's done wrong and all this sort of stuff. But Seth carries it so well. He does it so well.
And you can see, I think he is actually like enjoying himself.
And if you're, there's no burial about it if you're a prominent part of a TV show every week and you're one of the main talking points on social media.
I think he trends like every Tuesday morning, doesn't he? And then,
so good, Seth Rollins. Oh my God, so good.
Yeah. Oscar Garcia's here. We haven't got to that match.
Hey, dude.
It says the problem is too much predictable results. Roman wins and sad and boring. Sad, yes, because I think Sammy needs a payoff. But I said earlier, I don't see the point in having title matches in between. Well, after the Rumble, but before Mania, it's pretty obvious that they're not going to drop the title.
Especially one as monumental as Reigns.
Yeah. Thanks to Oscar, I disagree.
I mean, it's definitely up for debate. I mean, we'll get to it shortly anyway. But this reign of Reigns has been that historic.
I think they might tick him over to 1,000 days as champion.
How many days? There's not even that long until WrestleMania. There's
not 100 days.
No,
there ain't, is there?
60 days. Yeah. Less than that now, probably. No, it's less than that, isn't it? Yeah, it's less
5-6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So
40, 50 days then, not long.
You have to. This is still a part of a bigger story. So, this Sammy and the Usos thing isn't done today. Sorry, Sammy and the Bloodline. And it will carry through to WrestleMania. There will be a payoff there.
It's got to be there, though, hasn't it?
It has to be there. It has to be on the. I mean, you have the Bloodline destroy Sammy tonight, and then Kevin Owens comes in to make the save. The other big Canadian hero, save his mate,
them two finish,
reconcile.
Yeah.
And then they're the ones to go for the tag team titles at WrestleMania.
He says, so Oscar says, Roman wins 99% of his matches with help, boring. And then he's also put why we need to see the pay-per-view.
Well, you see the pay-per-view for the storytelling, all right? You're watching, here's the thing, right? The reason why this is so good and why this has been written and booked so well, it's like when you used to watch The Undertaker every single year at WrestleMania and you almost knew that he was going to win his match to keep the streak alive.
Yeah.
But you always have that tiny bit of hope that the result will go the other way. And Sammy could win tonight. He isn't going to, but he could.
Every now and then it does tip over to the way you think, fucking I didn't expect that.
The way...
Every now and then. Not always, but every now and then.
So this is a Montreal crowd tonight. So the crowd's going to be so hot for this match. And, it's going to tell such a great story And this has been, like I said earlier on, this has been the best story in professional wrestling for the last 20 years. And it isn't done yet, and isn't going to be done until WrestleMania. So you watch it for that, whether the result's predictable or not. You watch it for how the story plays out. It's like watching a soap opera. You know the pub's going to burn down, but you watch the build-up because you're invested in it. So we're invested in Sammy versus Roman and there's Sammy versus the Bloodline, and you watch it for that payoff. You don't watch it because Roman's going to win. You watch it. We knew Roman was going to win at the Royal Rumble, but you wanted to see what was going to happen after the match, and they built it up so well that the pay-per-view ran an extra 20 minutes after the final bell had gone. Yeah. Because there was something else coming.
Yeah.
And no one knew what it was going to be. And that's why you watch it. You watch it for the drama. You don't watch it for the result.
Yeah.
Frank says, I really hope we get a triple threat match at Mania or the KO team up. And then
it'll be the KO team up.
Yeah, it will be. Then Oscar says, all we know that Roman will win with help. Why do we need to lose time seeing the pay-per-view, which we've just gone over that.
Oscar, let me tell you this.
Wrestling.
The reason that this match is booked tonight is to have Sammy get that big match in his hometown. All right. So he's going to get this, and the story will advance in his hometown. That crowd is going to be so hot for this entire segment.
They always pull in a good crowd for them too, though, don't they? Kevin Owens,
Montreal is
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At home, they always do well.
So you watch the pay-per-view for the continuation of the story. If you're watching pro wrestling for the outcomes of matches, you're probably watching the wrong thing. Because wrestling is theatre. It's telling a big story, and like I said, this is the best story in wrestling for 20 years. And you want to see what's going to happen next. You want to see what's going to happen after the bell.
It's weird type. You don't know how it's going to pay off. Are they going to split? Are they going to stay as they are and just lose the titles?
Yeah.
Are they going to keep the titles?
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Are you wasting time watching Elimination Chamber tonight? No, I don't think you are, because I think
it'll make sense.
It'll just get you more hyped for WrestleMania. It'll get you more angry at Roman, and it'll get you more hyped to see Roman eventually lose the championship. And let's be fair here, Sammy's done an unbelievable job of getting everybody behind him and thinking that he could win the championship, where we all know deep down that he probably isn't going to. But there is an eventual payoff here.
We know Roman's going to win, probably, but we don't know how he's going to win. What's going to happen in between.
On that, actually, so
yeah.
So King's Pokemon Empire is here, and he says Jay will help Roman. That will be the last dagger to Sammy. And then he's gone on to the matches we discussed previously. He put Lesnar versus Lashley should be fun, plus 2 nice chamber matches. And then Oscar said again, what happens that time? Edge fights against Cena in Montreal. Oh yeah, Vince's favourite one.
Right.
Tonight will be the same.
But Vince isn't in charge anymore. Oscar.
It's gone.
Oscar, Vince is gone. There's no there is no Vince's favourite is going to win. Well, this is now.
Anymore, does it?
This story will have been panned out for the next few weeks to culminate at WrestleMania. Culmination. So that's why you're watching tonight. But Oscar, if you don't want to watch Elimination Chamber, don't watch Elimination Chamber.
Don't watch it, yeah.
But I'm glad you've come here, because it helps. You're watching us, and that's fine. And it also stimulates the conversation. I love that.
Yeah,
we're all about that. Frank says, I hope Sammy gets the title tonight, Mania, or in the future. It does feel very Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very Daniel Bryan-esque.
The thing is, one of the main talking points of WWE these last few months has been Sammy and how well he's done.
Yeah. King's Empire, I can't read. King's Empire Pokemon, and he said then. King's Pokemon Empire says maybe Sammy wins, Cody beats Sammy, then Roman can beat Cody. So yeah, Sammy wins, so Cody beats Sammy, and then Roman can beat Cody. In my opinion, you have to have 2 title matches at WrestleMania. Why every night? One both nights.
Yeah, because you've got to split the titles. You've got to split the tag team titles, and you've got to split the world titles, so that Raw and SmackDown can then, because the mid-card championships, I mean, essentially tonight, the Elimination Chamber, the men's Elimination Chamber match is the Raw main event.
Yeah.
Because the United States title is the championship that's predominantly featured on Raw every week. You could say, I mean, yes, the Bloodline stuff is what dominates SmackDown, but the IC title has been the biggest and most defended championship on SmackDown. So the mid-card titles are doing the work at the minute whilst Roman holds the championship. So you've got to split the world titles up. So Cody is going to leave WrestleMania with one of them, presumably the Raw one, and he'll bring back the Winged Eagle, blah, blah, blah. Great.
Says they agree and says lack of motivation.
Who said that, sorry?
King's spoken.
So you got to have 2 title matches.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very exciting next couple of weeks in WWE, isn't it?
Oh, I'm buzzing for tonight. I think tonight's going to be...
going to feel like a big reset, doesn't it? Because obviously we know we're going to have title changes. We know we are. But it's going to feel like a really big reset.
Nights like tonight don't come along very often in pro wrestling. Like, nights like when you know you're going to have a hot crowd. 5 matches is a good length for a pay-per-view. And, you know, nights they just don't come along like this very often at all. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So what match were we even on?
Men's elimination.
Oh, right.
No, we haven't got to the main event yet, I don't think.
No, we haven't.
No, not officially. So, who's winning the men's chamber match?
Puff Bagwell.
Yeah.
You guys can't see me, but I'm definitely giving Steve the finger because, you know, piss
Probably
off.
do it twice.
No.
I mean, Austin Theory probably will win, but I would like to see who else in that match? Damien Priest in there as well.
I'd like to see Damien Priest win it. Seth Rollins is in it, Damien Priest is in it, Montez Ford. I'd like to
Love to see Montez Ford win it.
Who else is in it? Do you know what? I can't remember who else is in it.
Reed.
Yes, Bronson Reed always said the Bron Breaker.
Who I would also
I read it as Bron Breakker.
who I would also like to see win it, but I would also like to see Johnny Gargano win it.
Yeah, to be fair, I think he deserves a nice run, to be honest.
I'd love to see Johnny Gargano win it.
I think he deserves a nice little win.
But I think Austin Theory will win it. I just do.
Frank says Theory with Chains or Priestley?
Priest.
He says Priestley.
Yeah.
I like my theory. I like my...
Montez Ford and Rollins with some huge dives in the pod.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Gargano, I forgot. So the comments are just coming in as I'm reading them. So, yeah.
It's got potential to be a banger, that is.
Yeah, it has. That's got NXT match written all over it.
Yeah, it has,
yeah. I'm happy to Priest. I like my idea from earlier.
Yeah, I like the idea of Damien Priest winning it. I think he deserves it as well because didn't he go back to NXT for a little bit because he was booked badly? Weren't he in the Damien Priest?
No,
I'm thinking of Dominic Dijakovic. That's something.
Oh yeah, he's back on the NXT.
Yeah, he was booked. That's what?
He was T-Bar.
He was T-Bar, yeah.
Retribution.
Fucking Retribution, man. Jesus, what?
They were on something really well when they started with that faction, and then they released the names, and you were like, what?
Who knew that Mace was so good looking?
I know, right?
And now he's Marseille.
He pays the Mace. Sorry.
No, it's Marseille.
King Pokemon Empire says, I hope Rollins wins, and Ted is a good shout.
I'd love Montez Ford to win.
Can we give a shout out to his class Instagram post about for Valentine's Day this year?
Oh yeah.
A picture of his wife's Peach, and then the picture of him next to it was just amazing. Oh man, he knows the lucky man, doesn't he?
But I think this is the time for Montez Ford to break away from the Street, because Street Profits is boring now. They're great, but it's boring now.
Yeah.
It's
you know what? I am really pleased though that they didn't get booked badly, and they got booked really well, really quickly. And they were over so quickly.
Also, Dawkins could be a really good bitter heel, like jealous. Like they could pretend that he's really happy. There's no reason why you couldn't have Tez versus Dawkins at WrestleMania. For the United States title.
Dawkins got way better recently.
Yeah.
Way better. I remember
trimmed down a bit as well, you know.
Yeah, trimmed down. Yeah.
But I think a lot of them do, don't they? They come up from NXT and they do.
I remember when I first saw Angelo Dawkins on NXT. He used to come out and he did the stirring thing. I was like, this guy's never going to go anywhere. This guy fucking sucks. And he was very lucky.
He's been there years.
Yeah. But he was like, I'm talking like black and gold NXT before it was really that good.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who he was teaming with, but it was somebody as forgettable as Angelo Dawkins. And then when they put him with Montez Ford, they started doing the Street Profit stuff. I remember. Do you remember when they started it? It was like the car park and stuff.
Yeah.
And they started doing that. I was like, I don't know about this. It's still Angelo Dawkins, but you know what? They just did so well.
It just popped and clicked straight away, didn't it?
Yeah.
Someone put up in here, but we'll get to it properly when we have a chat about that match. Something about, do we think Roman will keep the titles for SummerSlam?
No.
No, I don't. And Frank said that as well. No, but we'll come on to that in a second. And then King's Pokemon Empire says, yes, Dawkins needs to turn on Tez. Dude has improved a lot on the main roster, but yeah, they're stale.
Tez is the star. Yeah. Tez is the star of the show.
He's the mouthpiece and stuff as well, isn't he? So, yeah.
He's funny. Tez is bulked up. Yeah. Like, he's really
chiseled
bulked
now,
up.
and we noticed that the other day, didn't we, when we were watching Raw? We're like, Jesus Christ.
But
like, he's proper chiseled up now.
Yeah. Tez is the one. Tez is the face and is a big star. He's even had the endorsement of The Rock in terms of sort of, breaking out. So Dawkins needs to turn on him and be the heel. And I'd love to see Tez win tonight. That'd be great.
Chris Dawkins is Janetty with left talent.
Is who, sorry? Oh, Janetti.
Janetty, I can't.
Yes, you're right. I mean, but he's probably less of a lunatic than my Janetti.
He ain't killing anyone.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Or shagged his door or whatever.
Anyway, King's Pokemon Empire says, favourite Pokemon? Sorry, has to.
Pokemon?
Pikachu.
I was at Bulbasaur growing up, no way.
Nice.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave's
So Steve's not a Pokemon guy.
Dave, yeah.
Yeah, Pikachu for me. I love Pikachu.
Yeah, Bulbasaur. I've got like a big Bulbasaur plushie from also.
Nice.
Yeah, cool.
So Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Dave. All day, Dave. King's Pokemon Empire also says Dawkins could be like, I've seen what they say on YouTube. I've seen what they say on YouTube.
I don't know what that is.
Be like, I've seen what they say on YouTube.
No, I don't know what that is. Sorry.
And then Chris has put Hitmonchan.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Because you got Hitmonlee as well.
Yeah, Hitmonlee.
Yeah, they always look cool as well.
So, who's winning the Elimination Chamber?
Hitmonchan.
Yeah, I think Reese.
I think Hitmonlee's going to win. I fucking love that shit.
I think Dave's going to win.
I do think Austin Theory's going to win, but I would love to see Montez Ford because I think it'd be something different and a shock. And I'm also, I think Austin Theory needs a bit of time away to reevaluate because I think it's gotten a bit stale. It's not work. Dropping the phone stuff is really worked for him.
Oh, yeah.
But he's now gone from that to being quite a generic heel character, I think. So I think I would love to. I'm going to say Montez Ford. Fuck Austin Theory.
King's Pokemon Empire has put on to another comment. It's about how great Tez is and how he's the future champion. And then he says, "What about me?" Not Dawkins. Well, what about me?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Super jealous.
Super
jelly.
Yeah,
super jealous.
That'd be the perfect way to play it for sure.
And really turning nasty and bitter about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Not straight away. Build it.
So Montez Ford, you're saying, and then I think, and you guys do too. Cool. So the one that we've spoken about quite a lot is your main event, which is Roman versus Sammy for the title.
This is for both, isn't it? It's for both the Universal.
It's for both. Yeah.
The other way they could do this is Sammy could win, and then
I think he could win by DQ, so he doesn't actually win the title.
He could absolutely win by DQ. Yeah.
See, that's the only way I could see it happening, really, and then not walk away without a belt.
Jey Uso super kicks Roman DQ.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way that they go because that's cheap.
Yeah.
The other way they could do it is Sammy does win the Universal title, wins both titles, vacates one of them. They have a tournament to determine who the Raw champion is going to be at WrestleMania.
It's Sammy and Cody at Mania.
Yeah, but no, they won't do that.
They won't.
But they find some way to announce beforehand, maybe Paul Heyman can tell. They're going to be for one title, not both titles.
Because what I read is there was talk of them bringing a new. So one would assume that they would just combine the Universal title, them two titles, and then they were going to introduce a new championship, which I guess would be the WWE Championship. That was talked about. Don't think they'd go in that direction.
Yeah.
But which is good. When the titles were, I think they were thinking about that because it's difficult. Because I think they wanted to split the championships before WrestleMania. And I just don't think they're going to get the chance to do that now. No. They could, but I feel like changing the title this close to WrestleMania after Reigns' historic run, it just doesn't feel right.
No. It's the Mania thing for sure.
It has to be on the big stage, the big occasion.
We said in the car earlier on the way over, Sammy wins tonight, and it ends up being Sammy versus Cody. Cody's going to win. So then
it's flat, isn't it?
Sammy's an interim champ for a month.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's not fair. It's a bit flat, isn't it?
But given the almost 12 months that he's had in this storyline, it'd be unfair for him just to have it for a month.
I agree totally. And also,
Chris agrees. It makes no sense.
It'd be harsh on Cody for him to come back, be the hero as he has been. Everyone's so behind
do that
him.
To him as Sammy's had that massive run for
because that will turn the fans on Cody, and that's not smart.
No. The thing is, I mean, you could. I don't know how they would do it, but like you say, Sammy wins tonight, but he only takes one of the belts. So Sammy's then got an opponent for night one in Roman. I don't know, maybe Roman just keeps one of the belts. So you still then get Roman Cody night two. I don't know how you would work it and how you could justify it.
This is it anyway, when you give them both titles.
Because if Sammy wins it and then he's out the picture, you know, and Roman's out the picture, like I'm guessing once Roman loses the titles, he's probably going to disappear for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's Sammy's opponent? Who's his next opponent? Kevin Owens?
I've had a few comments come through.
The thing is here, before we get to the comments, what the likely thing is, you could have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos main event one of the nights of WrestleMania. Yeah. Do you have the tag team titles main event one of the nights of WrestleMania?
It's different. You don't really see tag titles main event.
No, not at all. But also, you know, if Roman's going to lose to Cody Rhodes is probably the ideal candidate to be like, you know, he's one of these sort of like pedestal people where it's like, oh, you know, we should have a champion on both brands, and he will take one of them and he will give the other one up.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it feels like he's got that chat in him to do it.
Yeah.
He's got that historic side to him. When I say historic, I mean like he's very much like a traditional wrestling person.
He's a purist.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And whereas he would sort of say, I've won the championship. I wanted to win the WWE championship. I didn't want to be the WWE Universal Champion. I wanted to be the WWE Champion.
Yeah. Therefore, I think it's fair. We do the and for it or something.
Yeah. SmackDown needs a champion as well. I'm the champion here on Raw. SmackDown needs a champion. So essentially, you don't need Roman Reigns to main event both nights. You could have Sammy versus Kevin Owens win the tag team titles against the Usos night one, which is fucking, you know, which would be epic. And then you have Cody Rhodes beat Roman on night two. Yeah.
So a few comments coming through. Frank said he wants Sammy to win, but he knows Roman will. Monaha, I can't pronounce your last name, dude. Sorry. Looks like Roman ain't losing his titles till WrestleMania 40. It feels like it. King Spake on Empire says Sammy wins and Paul gets the mic and says, well, this never was officially sanctioned, therefore he's still your champion. And then Chris says maybe you just do a rematch in night one for both. Roman wins and fights Cody on night two. And then when he loses, he has an exclusive for a classic heel turn. And then Frank says that's what I was thinking he could do. So maybe a rematch night one for both. Roman wins them, and then Cody takes them again night two. They need
to not cheap it because it's been too good.
You guys are really careful, haven't you?
The thing is, they've done this Sammy stuff for the last year now, and they've done it so well that if they fucked it, it would be just people would be so angry.
Yeah.
And they've done the Cody return so well that needs its own payoff as well.
You can't fuck it up. It's really weird, isn't it?
It's going to be interesting how it's from a creative standpoint how it gets done, because the plan was for always for Cody to win at Mania.
Yeah.
You know, win the Rumble.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. All of that. It was always going to be, and then in between time you've had Sammy, who's naturally organically got over with the crowd like Daniel Bryan did, and it's like, oh fuck, we can't ignore this.
Yeah,
a bit like Daniel Bryan.
When
Kofi
got
Daniel
it.
Bryan. And same with Kofi.
That was Elimination Chamber, weren't it? Because he was only in there for.
He won the Elimination.
Who was he in there for? Mustafa Ali, because he went a bit mardy about
it. Let's be fair, Mustafa Ali wasn't winning that much.
He's a great wrestler. He did really well on NXT or 205, whatever he was on 205. Yeah. I think he's disappeared, hasn't he?
He loses on Raw every now and then.
It's still about I think it's mid-heel turn or something.
They can never figure out what to do with him. No. Like I don't think anything that he does.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah, that was really cool.
The thing is,
Chris says they've booked themselves into a corner.
Yeah, they have. But
because you don't know which way to go. I think Cody will split the titles after winning, which is what you said. And then Chris says, I like the Cody idea about wanting to be the WWE champ.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And then surrender the US one.
The Universal
one, yeah.
Yeah. Because like I'm the champion here on Raw, SmackDown needs a champion, therefore here's the SmackDown, here's the Universal, the Blue Championship.
Universal Blue belts.
Yeah.
How did they split the belts from Becky when she had to? Because this was another one when you were like, fuck, how are they going to take them off her? Because at one point they thought they were going to. Were it Money in the Bank? Didn't someone cash in on her? Bailey?
Maybe.
Because didn't she? I think she challenged Charlotte again for like the 15th time at Money in the Bank. Charlotte won and Bailey cashed in.
That's got to be how it was done.
I'm pretty sure that's how they split them up.
Someone will know. But,
probably, yeah.
I like that idea with Cody as well because that is the only way I see the championships being split without him losing both. Because another thing with it, I can't see him losing twice. He hasn't lost once in 900 days or whatever. The last person to pin Roman Reigns was Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
On a random episode of SmackDown.
Pre-pandemic. That was pre-pandemic as well.
Pre-pandemic.
Remember, he went off with the pandemic because his partner just given birth to twins, and obviously he, in remission from cancer and stuff, wasn't he? So Frank says, man, 205 was so cool, and messed that up.
Yeah, they fucked it.
Yeah.
We're like 45 minutes after SmackDown.
Yeah, so they filmed SmackDown, and then they had it after that.
And Chris says, remember that title exchange? I don't know what
title. Oh, the one with Charlotte and Becky.
Oh.
Charlotte threw on the
floor. Oh, yeah. That wasn't scripted, but didn't they have a massive row backstage? They're not friends, are they? No. Frank says, wait, Corbin. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last person to beat Reigns.
That was pre-pandemic as well. Because he wasn't seen for months and came back as a surprise with turkey teeth.
Being clean as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Being clean, end of days.
Clean, yeah. He did come back with turkey teeth.
Yeah, really. Oh, Reigns.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm on about. He came back and was like, fucking hell, he's having
teeth judged. The piss out of him or something.
Yeah, he did,
so Baron Corbin was the last person to beat Roman Reigns. So for him to lose 2 nights in a row at WrestleMania?
I can't see it. That's burying him.
Lose one time. Yeah. No, I don't think it's burying him because
I don't know. I think it's a bit unfair then. I think to have him lose twice.
Yeah, I think his title reign's probably been too historic for him to lose 2 nights in a row. That's what I mean, unless he wins one night and loses the next. But
Chris says Corbin, for fuck's sake. I know. I mean, he's still doing fuck all. He's not even on a pay-per-view, is he, Baron Corbin?
Yeah.
Under Vince, he would have been.
Yeah, just dropped his thing with JBL.
Yeah,
they dropped that whole storyline with JBL.
I feel like they dropped the ball a bit there.
Yeah. It seemed like an idea, but then just kind of didn't go anywhere. Now
Baron Corbin was better when he had that awesome music.
Hair.
Yeah.
Sort of hair. Yeah, he had a 10 head.
I mean, he was
clinging on.
He looked like one of the Snatchers, didn't he, from Harry Potter? You know?
Sorry,
that's really out of order.
Yeah, he was definitely clinging on. But that's when he was awesome then. Okay, I say awesome. That's when he was better. Good.
Great moveset.
Good moveset, yeah. Deep Six was good. End of Days was hoofing.
He's slow as fuck, though, isn't he? That's the only problem.
Yeah, it's that shit. He did the Boss Man thing, but not as good as Boss Man. It's weird with Reigns because it feels like it just has to be Cody to beat him on night 2 or night 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Cody beats him on night 1. Cody relinquishes one of the championships on night 1.
And then it's an open challenge for whoever go and get it in the ring.
Then, you have
a ladder match for it, maybe.
Well, you have somebody wrestle for the vacant Universal Championship on night 2.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, actually. Come out at the start of night 2, and then main event that night will be, I think, 6-man. It'll be a surprise ladder match maybe for it.
Interesting.
That would be quite cool, actually.
Cody with his wins and losses matter bullshit, and then he picks the two people who've won the most matches. So we have Madcap Moss versus someone for the title. That'd be awesome.
I'm going to read through a couple of comments. I think this is going back to Charlotte and Becky. And when we said like they used to be friends, but they used to be, and they grew apart, and then Flair went off script and threw the title. Then it all kicked off backstage, didn't it? Chris says, "What is it down?" Also, and then King spoke of an Empire says, "Baron needs a mask and fake hair like Kane." And Chris then says, "The Lone Wolf."
Yeah, that. Yeah.
And then Frank says, "Lone Wolf Corbin is the best gimmick." Then it broke Corbin. I want to see Big E come back and challenge for the title again. See Big E, he's due back soon from a neck injury.
I don't know how soon.
Mind you, he had to have surgery. He's lucky he ain't dead, I think. Didn't actually break his neck.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then King's Pokemon Empire says, "Haha, Madcap." And then Chris says, "Jay White versus Omega for the Universal title. You hit it first." Anything happening, it's wrestling.
Yeah. Can I throw a wild theory that definitely would happen?
Yep.
So Sammy's about to lose, get the trophy out of him by tonight.
Okay.
And then what about The Rock comes out? It's just a male.
Elimination Chamber though.
Yeah, I know. But then help Sammy win, and then have Roman and The Rock at Mania, and Sammy versus Cody.
For no time.
Yeah.
The Rock would not need to. That match wouldn't need them.
That's what I mean. That's what I think it would be.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I thought earlier, that's the only thing I could think of where it sort of makes sense. But then having The Rock return at Elimination Chamber, what thing?
If you've not seen The Rock, he's out of shape.
That's a good point, yeah. I know, that bastard.
Chris says, sorry, King's Pokemon Empire says, "Sheesh, well, she think they can land both." And then when they're on about Omega and Jay White, and then Chris says, "Vince voice, anything can happen in the world of wrestling federation."
I don't. It's so difficult to predict, really, because they've been booking the titles as one for so long now that I don't know how they get out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Triple H has been struggling with as well, is how do they get out of that.
The thing with The Rock is people have pretty much assumed that he was going to be part of WrestleMania because it's Hollywood, in Fox Hollywood. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, last minute, they said, "Oh no, I can't do it because we can out of shape, whatever." It seems like maybe that's a curveball, and maybe he is going to be at Mania. This is going to show up. It's almost definitely won't happen.
Sort of agree with Chris a bit back earlier, actually. They've really booked themselves into a corner with it.
Yeah.
I think it's done in the world of good, giving him both titles.
He's been awesome. He's been, to be fair, Cody said it on Raw that he's the biggest superstar in the world of wrestling. And he is. And he is I said it when he won the title, that he was the biggest superstar in all of professional wrestling. Like, AEW have their stars, Kenny Omega, the likes, Moxley, they're all stars. They're all big stars, but Roman Reigns feels like the biggest superstar in all of professional wrestling. Whether he's a great wrestler or not, whatever, but it's rare that he has a bad match. And he is simply the biggest superstar in all of wrestling. And he'll be missed when he's gone.
Yeah,
it's big shoes to fill, in it. Whoever gets given that opportunity.
I mean, in my opinion, he's surpassed Cena in terms of the impact that he's made as a champion.
Yeah.
Whereas, Cena lost, came back. Cena lost, came back. Where Reigns has been the one consistent. I mean, there's, I can't remember the last title reign like it, but in my opinion, Reigns has it's just been the biggest part of that company for the longest time now.
Made his bed for a minute.
I mean, you think about it the way this way, right? Everyone hated it. Everyone hated Reigns and hated the fact that he was being shoved down everyone's throats and, Reigns is Vince's boy. He's clearly going to win the championship.
He was at one point.
But you look at that.
Pre-pandemic.
The way that they've turned the tide.
Yeah.
And he's now.
Sort of like that as well. Like, it's just.
And how to see how much of a big deal it is actually going to be when somebody does beat him. I mean, that to me is. Because Cena, like I said before, Cena won the title, lost the title, won the title, lost the title. He's never had a run like this.
No. So going through a couple of comments, King's Pokemon Empire says, did Jay lose that match to Eddie? Because if so, you will see him in WWE soon.
That's tonight, isn't it? It's tonight. Yeah.
And then Frank says, whatever happens, the Mania match is going to be super cool. Then King's Pokemon Empire says, and apparently Omega could be working without a contract. And then I bet Monday after Mania, the knife pervert will be on Raw.
Yeah, I think Jay White will be on Raw. Yeah. Will be in WWE. Yeah.
And then Frank says, I think you can rank it on if you show a non-wrestling fan a picture, and if they can name them, he's made it.
Yep.
And he's got onto that, which I think you're probably right. And then Chris says, it hasn't happened yet, Frank. And then Frank says, I think he's almost there.
Yeah.
I do agree. I think you could talk to someone that isn't like a full-on wrestling fan and they know who Roman Reigns is.
Yeah. And also, I don't think
I'm not sure.
Some of the movie will do, then they'll know.
Yeah. Just going to say, throw him in a couple of films, like so you know.
Oh yeah. I don't think I'm just purely on wrestling.
I don't know.
He probably
either
will
way,
go into
regardless of that, I still think he's the biggest superstar in all of wrestling.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think he will go into films at some point as well, because they all do.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's related to the market.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a bad-looking bloke, is he? Let's be honest.
Oh, no, that's it. Yeah. He's got all the tools, hasn't he? He really has. But you know, he doesn't even need to go into acting. I don't really feel like that has to be the natural progression.
No.
He's clearly the highest earner in WWE outside of Brock.
Yeah.
And
Austin has done films, but not to the degree of like The Rock and whatnot. But you could say to people, "Do you know who that is?" And most people go, "Oh, Steve Austin."
Yeah. So long, Joe. But Reigns doesn't necessarily need to go into movies. He's probably made enough money off WWE where he could literally take time off and be with his family.
Yeah. I think
he has been pretty full time, isn't he?
I think you could probably do where you said like who's this person. I think in America definitely you could.
Yeah.
Where you say who's that and to a non-wrestling fan because he's been on talk shows and
posters, buses.
Yeah, and all that. They would know who he is. Maybe not so much over here, but I think definitely. But he is the biggest star in all of wrestling.
Yeah.
So a couple more comments coming through. He's nowhere near Rock level. The mainstream don't watch anymore. But yeah, he's the biggest face in wrestling right now.
Who said that? No, he's nowhere near the Rock. But I mean, in terms of right now,
he's definitely.
He's bigger. He's easily the biggest star in WWE. He's the biggest star in all of out of all wrestling. Biggest star.
I think good shout, as in like in America, you could say who's that, and you know who he is. But over here, maybe not.
But maybe not so much at the minute.
Yeah, he says good shout. So who's winning then?
Yeah, about a minute.
Gather your thoughts.
I'd love it to be Danny, and I would. It's going to be over.
I'm more interested in what happens next.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't really matter, does it? You're going to get that bigger.
I think Reigns does win, but I just want to see what happens after. That's what I'm more interested. I'm more interested in the sort of WrestleMania aspect of where this goes now.
We were like that at the Rumble, though, if you remember, a couple of weeks back. We were like, The Rock's going to come back, The Rock. And then for 20 minutes after that match, we were all sat there expecting to hear that music.
Yeah.
We were.
That payoff after the Rumble, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say that was a really good turn, and I thought, fucking hell. Well, they beat the shit out of them for a good 20 minutes. It was really good.
It was actually outstanding how they did it. So good. But you know, with it being in Montreal, you have to bring Kevin Owens out in some capacity tonight.
Yeah.
Frank says, "All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Have a great night and enjoy."
Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much for popping along.
And Chris says, "Prepare yourselves for false finishes, City."
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, big time.
There is no way that Sammy isn't hitting that haluva kick and Reigns kicks out at the very last
second. Yeah,
9
seconds to go.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's a very WWE thing to do, isn't it? Get the crowd real hard for it. Yeah.
I honestly think that main event is going to be really special.
I can see Sammy winning, but only by DQ. So
if they do a DQ finish in the main event,
won't surprise me.
No,
just to give Sammy the win, but having someone come down and kick the shit out of Sammy.
I think Reigns does win. He
With
wins
or without help.
Probably there'll be shenanigans. Sammy will give it the Jey Uso will probably. Jey Uso will probably be the one to cost him.
Chris says fingers crossed for a botched kick out. They'll shit all over that.
1, 2, 3, 2.
We changed it to 4 count now.
Yeah.
Kick out 3. I'd love Sammy to win, but I think Roman will win. But like I said, I'm more interested in what happens next.
Chris says Reigns wins, Bloodline attack KO, and then attack and then KO appears, which I think will be the KO.
Yeah, probably.
Well, the thing is, you got what happens with Solo Sikoa here, because he's
just
still
been left, hasn't he? Really, he does.
He's
He's busy, obviously, but he's not got a title or he's not really got a mouthpiece.
Yeah, yeah. Could have been there with.
But if they're on about potentially breaking up the bloodline, it doesn't really make sense to stick him in, does it?
Who versus Gunther would be really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think they're potentially looking at Gunther and.
This time next year, Gunther's SmackDown is the SmackDown champion.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Who did you square up to in the Rumble that we were like, oh,
Brock.
fuck, yeah, with Brock Lesnar on it? That'd be good.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that though.
No. We're a couple of years off that yet, if anything. But
this time next year, Gunther's the WWE Universal Champion.
Vince's, not Vince's, he's Stretch's boy as well, isn't he?
Not only that, he's just fucking awesome.
Chris says, think of all the role reversal from the Royal Rumble, but it'll be KO to the rescue.
Yeah.
I agree. And then MC finish on top because obviously they're in Montreal then.
And I mean, I think this story's been that good that a tag team title match could main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Executed properly, which with them wrestlers, they could really pull it off.
The story has to, I know that's the Cody thing at the minute, finish the story, but the story has to finish. So Kevin Owens and Sammy have to have that payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes has to have that payoff. The way to do it is to have the tag titles main event night 1. Cody wins the title night 2. Cody gives one of the titles up on Raw the night after.
Do you think potentially they have, so you're going back to how Cody would surrender one of them, SmackDown one. Let's say, do you remember the Mania where we were really shocked that Seth and Brock went on first? Wasn't main event.
What was? Was it the women that year?
Yes, I think it was. So, I mean, to be fair, the women had to main event that because it was for both titles. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility of shoving them two on first. And then at the end of that match, Cody cut a promo about how he's going to give one of the titles up. And it will be that night. And it will be unknown, selected by Cody Rhodes. It'll be 4 of them, for example. And it will be, the winner takes. And that will be your unknown main event. That could happen, chuck them on first, get him out of the way. I mean, they probably won't do that, but, they probably won't. But I didn't think they'd chuck Brock Lesnar on first.
No.
And that was only a 5-minute match.
I think that was, wasn't it? It was quick.
It was really, but that was Brock Lesnar, wasn't it, back in the day?
Cody gets his big firework moment at WrestleMania. At the
end.
At the very end of WrestleMania. Reigns has to lose last. Yeah. Because it's the biggest story in wrestling. Reigns has to lose last. It has to be a big heroic finish. Cody Rhodes hits 4 crossroads in a row. Yeah. Literally picks him up, crossroads. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Cody wins the titles, and Reigns has to be the main event.
Yeah. A couple more comments coming in. Yeah. Chris says Canadian Stampede like crowd incoming. And then Smack Kings is here. Says here's my prediction: Sammy lose by looking strong. Oscar wins, also possibly Priest win as United States champion. Brock versus Bray plus Edge versus Balor will definitely happen during night 1 for sure. Having Jay White lose over Eddie Kingston would make sense. Having a White debut after Mania during Balor's new promo with Judgment Day. And then does anyone see us pre-recorded or what, bro? Still no reply. Do anyone see us, or is the pre-recorded or what, bro? Still no reply. I wonder if he thinks, like, is this live or...
Oh, have we missed a comment before?
I don't think so.
Oh, this is live. We're live now.
Yeah. I've just read all his comments out in one go, but he did put them up like 3 minutes ago, but we were chatting, so I haven't seen them. So
yeah, dude, we are here now.
Chris has just put relax, dude. Cheers.
Yeah. All of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. Jay White losing. Yeah. So basically, the New Japan show I think is after Elimination Chamber. I actually think it's after, because Elimination Chamber finishes at like 2:30-ish, and I think the New Japan show that has Mercedes Moné versus Kyrie is on after.
She'll be back to WWE for.
She won't win tonight, I don't think. I couldn't care less anyway, to be perfectly honest. I still think she sucks, but
she's got a documentary that coming out, isn't she?
Is she? Great, can't wait to not watch it.
I bet she's flagged off our company. Fuck.
No.
Right.
Do you not reckon?
No, she will not want to burn that bridge.
No, she knows. She knows where.
Oh, she does.
She'll end up coming back.
Well, she will when the Japanese discover that she actually can't wrestle that well.
She's just reckless, isn't she? And she's so, like, she injures people.
She looks like a superstar, but doesn't wrestle that one.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston beat Jay White. Yeah, I can see that for sure. And then them rumours will start tomorrow that Jay White signed with WWE. In fact, them rumours, as soon as the ref's hand hits 3 for Eddie Kingston to win, Sean Ross Sapp will be on Twitter pulling his little pudding, thinking that he's got the exclusive that Jay White has signed with WWE.
Snacking says Battle in the Valley isn't tonight.
It's what, sorry?
Battle in the Valley isn't tonight.
Isn't. Yeah, I know. It's just tonight, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Then Chris says, well, it's loser leaves town.
Yeah.
Oh, right, there you go then.
Yeah.
And Jay White's contract's already up, and we know that.
Yeah. He's got to be considered, hasn't he?
He's already had Jay White's already had an uneventful couple of stints in AEW. I actually think Jay White had a better few appearances in Impact than he did in AEW. That's where I enjoyed him more. He doesn't need to go to AEW because I feel like if he does go to AEW, he's only very much he'll only be on a similar level to what he is now. There for that crowd. Whereas I think if he goes to WWE, that feels like the logical next step for him. Whereas AEW, he's already been on there, so him going there wouldn't really have much of an impact. Him going to Impact would have no impact at all at this point. So going to WWE feels like the next logical step for Jay White, and that's where I see him.
Yeah, Chris says, the stick was just added yesterday. He thinks hard to argue that, Sonny.
Yeah.
And he'd shake things up more in WWE.
For sure, yeah. That's not to say that I just feel like he'd probably be lost in the main event shuffle in AEW. I feel like this is the time now.
There's a lot going on in AEW at the minute, I think.
Yeah,
especially over the main event spot.
Yeah, the time now for me, it's now time for Adam Cole to be the main event in AEW. Whereas I think if you bring Jay White in, he has to be amongst that as well. And I think it's time for Adam Cole to take that top spot in that company, and for Jay White to go on and be in WWE, and he'll have a bigger impact there, for sure.
Chris says boom.
Yeah. And it's Adam Cole's time. It really is.
About time as well, really. He's been with him, what, 2 years now? No, 18 months?
18 months, yeah. However long Bryan Danielson's been there, because they came in on the same night. The same segment. Yeah, for a while. But yeah, it's Adam Cole's time. He'll be the one, or should be the one, to take it from MJF.
Chris says superb stream, man.
Thank you. And on that note, it is probably time for us to go and watch the actual pre-show. So, thank you very much for watching tonight. We've had an absolute blast again. If you're watching and you're new to us, subscribe to the channel, or if you're watching on social media, like the pages or whatever. But yeah, we have a weekly podcast that absolutely rips. It's the most informative, not stupid podcast of all time. Steve has a good football podcast as well. Football as in that football, not that sort of wrong-shaped football in America. Soccer. But yeah, I've been Sonny G, and still am, but going away now. I've been with Finn Steele.
Hello. Goodbye.
And Steve.
Goodbye.
And Kay.
Bye.
We're Team G&G Graps. See you later. Bye.
Thanks so much. Goodbye.